So, good evening. Good evening. Well, it was a good evening until we got the news that Arteta is being lined up for a 2-year contract extension, and in fear that Man City might poach him. Do me a favour. Anyway, listen, we are going to get into this. We are going to give it the real talk because this is the Real Talk podcast. Also, big up to everybody who's checked out the Werripy website, the Werripy Plus website. The link for that is pinned to the live chat. It's also in the comments. It's not in the comments section. Well, it is in the comments section. It's pinned, but it's also in the description. I will be playing the intro video for that website shortly when the viewing figures pick up as well. And big up to everybody who has gone and checked it out, subscribed to it, signed up to it. It covers all bases of mental health and depression, anxiety, and low self-esteem. And there's plenty of online group therapy sessions on there. There's meditating sessions on there, as well as one-on-one sessions as well, which you do if you are a member and a subscriber to that on a monthly membership, which after 2 weeks is $14. It is free for the first 2 weeks. After that, you do get 15% off of the one-on-one therapy sessions with a qualified psychotherapist. So do go and check that out. I'll play some intro videos on that in a short while. But Jez, how's your weekend, mate?
Oh, it's going well until I saw the comment on Sky Sports News this morning about my favourite man possibly being offered a 2-year contract extension. What for? I have absolutely no clue. I'm at a loss to think why this absolute prick should get a 2-year extension. But there we go. That's Arsenal. And yeah, there's obviously something there that I've missed. So, yeah, somebody please tell me why.
Well, I'm sure we'll get into that in a bit. Kenny, how's your weekend, mate?
Well, it started off, like how I like it with football. But I just want to do one thing. So there's this new friend of mine. His channel is called Just One Run Carp Fishing. Please subscribe. He's a good lad. You know, he thinks very highly of me, and he could do with subscribers. So it helps him out a lot, and he definitely needs a bit of promotion. Because I think slagging me off is not getting him the views he wants. So seeing that I'm a very helpful person, I'm a Roman Catholic, a Christian. Don't forget to follow Just One Run Carp Fishing. Is that how? Just One Run Carp Fishing. If you want to know anything about fishing and getting a bit of bait or carp fishing, or just learn, get a hook the fish together. Get on that YouTube channel. It's brilliant. It's wicked.
There you go. Big up to 500 people watching live already. Make sure you are firing the likes up as well, people. But I'll give my little thoughts on this real quick, and I'll come to you, Jez. Right? I see this story, and I couldn't help but laugh. It's to fend off Manchester City, the same Manchester City that have been on a 13 straight win streak until tonight, of which they got a draw against Southampton. So they're still unbeaten in the last 14 games or whatever it is. And they're top of the table. They're comfortably clear. They are going to win the title. I'm not quite sure when Pep's deciding that he's leaving or whether they're going to sack him. Maybe they'll sack him. I don't know. Maybe he has to win the Champions League this season or they're going to sack him. I don't really know. But I did have a little chuckle because I thought we sacked a manager for being 5th in the table, losing the Europa League final, and then being 8th in the table, 6 points off 4th. We sacked him. We then bring in this manager. He's finished 8th and currently 7th. Yes, we are 7th. Only a couple of weeks ago, we were sat 4th, and everyone else had games in hand. And it was a case of, points on the board are better than games in hand. Now it's the other way round, and all the other teams have got points on the board, and we got games in hand. It don't matter. We got games in hand now. We got games in hand. This fan base is hilarious. But we have won the FA Cup. That FA Cup has managed to keep him here and give him some grace. The style of football is boring. We don't create a lot. We've had a 5-win streak that ultimately came to an end against Man City, and we played well for 57 minutes against them. We then got too cocky against Liverpool. thinking we were through. I fell foul of that. I expected a win. I thought we'd win. I wanted a win. And here we are on Saturday, the 22nd of January, talking about a new contract for this guy. It's baffling. And the majority of people that I have seen, and I haven't seen everybody online, there's millions, but the ones I've looked out for, the usual suspects, are going, oh, yes, but if we get fourth, then he's overachieved. Overachieved. We were fifth under Emery, 2 points off third. Yeah, what are you talking about? He spent £250 million and our squad is a shambles. It is a shambles. We have signed players that we didn't need to sign, i.e. the centre-back, when we've got a centre-back absolutely balling out in France. We have a midfielder, which we're crying out for at the moment, by the way. We have a midfielder who is one of the best midfielders in France right now, on loan. We have Maitland-Niles on loan. We sold Joe Willock, who could score goals from midfield. Not that he was the be-all and end-all, but we've got better players out on loan than we have at the club. It's actually mad. This manager's falling out with so many players since he's been here. I don't think I've ever seen a manager fall out with so many players in a 2-year period and still be loved off by 95% of the fan base. It is absolutely insane. And if we give this guy a 2-year contract extension, then we're done. We're dead and buried. Yeah, we're finished. Honestly, and I think we're kind of there anyway, which is why I don't get so angry watching the games now. But I do think that it shows a complete lack of urgency, a lack of forward thinking with this football club. And there's two parties within a football club that can make the club raise the bar. That's the owner, and if he ain't doing it, the fan base. And if neither are doing it, you end up like us. Yeah, just going round and round and round in circles. So, yeah, he needs to be sacked. I'd go and get somebody in right away. Obviously, my standards are up here, so I'd go and get Simeone. Failing that, if we can't go and get an elite manager, a top elite manager, then why don't we go and get someone that can make football pretty on the eye? And that geezer's down at Brighton. Yeah, he's lost 4 games this season in the league. Yeah, and look at the state of his squad. So that's my thoughts on it. Jez, waiting patiently. Go on, mate. Breathe.
Well, look, there might be a theory to this that Man City, obviously desperate to get Arteta, and maybe we're going to do a swap. Maybe Pep's coming to Arsenal and Arteta's going there. I mean, it could be. Maybe this was the process all along that we would 3 years in, we do a swap, and it's absolute fucking lunacy. This guy is totally inept. He's useless. How anybody, I just don't get it, in our fan base even thinks this guy is going to take Arsenal to win the league. I mean, the comment you made there about overachieving, how the hell can you overachieve? At the end of the day, if you overachieve, mate, you win the league. And this guy is never going to overachieve in anything. He couldn't overachieve in a wet paper bloody bag. I mean, the guy's absolute dross. He's useless. And the sad fact is that our fan base, or not all our fan base, to be fair, but a big lot of our fan base believe in the complete prick. And I've been day one, that this, when we were told he's coming, he will achieve nothing. He upsets players. He's ruining players. He's ruining Tierney. We've seen him gradually declining. And God help us, this is supposed to be, Arsenal are supposed to be a big club. Well, we're not a big club currently, because all we are doing is just bobbing along in a bloody river where we have just been taken by the current, because we have no direction and we have no leadership, and therefore we are stuffed. And it's not Arsenal Football Club in the mud, it's Arsenal Football Club in the shit.
Mate, this comment's hilarious. We're protecting his value. We're protecting Arteta's value. Yeah, mate, listen, I make you right. We have been, I actually thought it got us knocked out the League Cup 3 times, but it was actually Emery that got us knocked out the season that Arteta came in, ironically, to Liverpool. But he has been entered in to 10 competitions as manager of this football club. He has won one of them. That is a 10% win ratio as Arsenal manager. And he's dumped us out of Europe in one of them seasons as well, by the way. So we're not in Europe and we're out of every competition by January. That itself should be a sackable offence. You know, people are saying give him to the end of the season to see if he can get fourth. No, sack him now and go and get someone that will get fourth. You know, Antonio Conte, as much as we can all laugh at Tottenham and say how rubbish they are and this and that, and they are crap, they are still above us. They have lost less games than us this season, and they were getting battered at the start of the season by everyone. You know, yes, we lost the first 3 games, but they were getting done all around London, 3-0, 3-0, 3-0, 3-0. Yeah, and they've lost 5 games all season. How can anybody sit there and look at somebody like Potter, for example, down at Brighton, with the squad that he's got, the resources that he's got, selling apparently his best defender, and he didn't even replace him, by the way. They didn't go and buy another centre-back, right? They didn't even spend the money. And look at the football he plays. Every single big team he goes up against, pretty much, he gets something, or at least is challenging in that game. So how come somebody like Graham Potter, with a shoestring budget, with a squad that, listen, how many of their players were getting our team?
Not one.
Basuma, maybe. Yeah, Basuma gets in, definitely. I'd say Basuma. Lamptey, yeah, I'd take Lamptey. Other than that, we're struggling, aren't we? Right? So how is it that he can go to Anfield, go 2-0 down and not capitulate? He'll come back and get a draw and get a goal disallowed to win it. The season before, he goes there and wins. He can go play Chelsea twice in a month and get a draw both times. And it's like, you just got to look at it and think, like, every time I watch Brighton play, they're competitive. They play sexy football, man. Yeah, all he needs is a top draw striker at that football club, and they'll be challenging for top 4. And that's Brighton. So what would he do with us? Furthermore, we're talking about players that we've had Barneys with, or Arteta's had Barneys with. When everyone was sitting there on that 5-game win streak, oh, we don't miss Aubameyang. We don't miss Aubameyang. Well, we were crying out for a striker to come off the bench the other night and get us back in the game. And we brought Eddie and Nketiah off the bench for Lacazette. So maybe we do miss Aubameyang. Yeah, maybe we just do miss Aubameyang, and everyone should stop being so reactionary because it's Arteta. Yeah, it's pathetic. Kenny, what are your thoughts, man?
Well, I was the one who broke the news on my Instagram, and I thought, right, it's come from the Daily Mail. So the first thing you say, all right, is it going to be the Daily Mail authentically or the Daily Fail, which a lot of people call it? But then when I saw other podcasters, joining in, having their say, which they're entitled to, I said, right, this is really a massive, massive topic. This is probably one of the biggest news of the week, although people may argue other big events have occurred. I'm sorry, something you've touched on. But for me, again, I was appalled. I was shocked. I should never have been shocked. But that emphasised everything I've been complaining about. The fact that he's been getting a blank check. What manager at a big club, a failing big club, by the way, let's be honest, right? One of the reasons why all of us are doing this podcast, one of the reasons why, we are criticised, and people who share our opinions, some of them, have found a place where they've been rejected before, is because the club's not in a good state. If the club was in a good state, we'll be go around with our chest out, looking forward to maybe a League Cup final, looking forward to getting further in the FA Cup, and talking about our trips to to Europe, to one of the most exotic places to play in the Champions League. We're not doing that. And we're not even talking about our league titles. So there is something wrong with Arsenal Football Club, and we're entitled to, make a complaint and use, these platforms to, utter our disgust at this decision. And this decision is pathetic. He hasn't got top 4 yet. And that's the bare minimum. And guess what? I'm not happy with top 4, because guess what? Top 4, I've been there, done it, got the T-shirt. Didn't make me happy, because all it did was just remind me of the fact that was the litmus test for Arsene Wenger, and there was no other test. And it just reminded me of how we used to get beaten by Monaco.
Oh, dear. And everyone want to blame Olivier Giroud for that. Yeah, but yeah, come on, we should be beating Monaco. No disrespect.
I mean, and how we got the Champions League, we needed a hat-trick from Giroud to get us out of trouble against Olympiacos. So it's never been a memorable situation. So Giving
Who was
him a
it? Who
contract.
was it? We were 3-0 up against and drew 3-3. Which game was that?
Oh, you know
Remember?
what? You
That
know
was the
what?
Champions League game. We were 3-0 up in that game, and we
It's
drew
probably
3-0.
it's probably Olympiacos again. You know what I mean? But it's one of those things where I look at the whole situation and it just screams at the standards. I've got people coming up to me talking absolute rubbish. Trust the process. What process? Tell me what's going on. Because at the end of the day, if you're going to say trust the process and youth project, then why don't you get the best trust the process manager in the business, which is Ten Hag, who's doing something really special with Ajax, with a smaller budget than Arsenal, probably a smaller budget than Brighton. Why? Because the Eredivisie is not an attractive league to be sold to overseas. So he's got a small budget, and all the players that he unearths get sold to bigger clubs in Europe. Get him in if you're that desperate to promote this trust the process. And guess what? People like all three of us may be on board because guess what? We've seen evidence of the football he plays, to the plays he can get an extra 20% out of. And more importantly, we know full well that he'll come to a bigger club, relish the league he's going to go to, and most importantly, we'll get up the table. But guess what? He'll stick two fingers up to us because you know why he'll stick two fingers up to us? Because he's going to say, I've been there, done that. No, I want a big club. I.e., he wanted a Bayern Munich job before they gave it to Nagelsmann. So that is why I'm really, really, really frustrated, because by getting Arteta, all you're trying to say is, right, I don't care about the fact that we should be challengers for the league, challenged for the Champions League, or just getting into it. All I care about is commercial value of the club. You know, selling this pathetic merchandise. You know, that one before the Liverpool game when they were talking about,
what was that all about?
You know, that nonsense at Arsenal Station, all sorts of garbage. You know what I mean? And I think that emphasised everything that was wrong with this club. Where is the cut-off point with this manager? Why is he getting a blank check? What are you trying to tell us? Are you trying to tell us that your ambition is to just be the way we are, and that it doesn't really matter that you know you're accepting that you can't challenge with Liverpool, Man United, Chelsea, and then Newcastle? What is it going to take for people to realise this club's in an effing state? Is it going to be Newcastle finally getting it right and start winning trophies, start getting in the Champions League, start beating us home and away, and challenge for that league that should be ours? Because the penny didn't drop when Chelsea won the Champions League twice. Didn't drop then. It didn't drop when Man City ran away with it. All we got was financial doping. If Arsenal, you know, get one of those owners, I'm going to stop supporting Arsenal. Well, you know what? You see that door? Don't worry, I won't shut it for you. I'll shut it for you. Just get lost. Because at the end of the day, it's fans like that are the problem. How the hell have they bought into this nonsense? Why won't they accept that they support the third biggest club in the country? Liverpool have got 19 league titles. Man United have got 20. We got 13. Let's not talk about the fact the FA Cups we won. Was it 14? 14 FA Cups. If you want to carry the Community Shields, fine. We'll have those as well. 2 League Cups, and you know we've got a European pedigree because we won 2 trophies. Obviously, not as much as our rivals down the road won 3. Yet they, for some peculiar reason, unbeknown to Maine, they say things are going really well with Arteta. They can see it in identity, and that that we should trust the process. And what is everyone talking about? And then they say Arsenal haven't got a defined right to win trophies. This is mad. Of course, Arsenal got a divine right to win trophies. Why do you think people supported Arsenal in the first place?
Exactly.
People who lived who live in Hammersmith, a QPR Chelsea area, they supported Arsenal because we're winning. Or the people in Harringay.
Why have we got such a big global fan base, Kenny?
Yeah, because we're winning.
Because of the Invincibles, because we won.
Yeah. Enfield, Jez would tell you, Enfield and Harringay are Tottenham strongholds. There's more Arsenal in Enfield and Harringay because we're winning. So of course we've got a divine right to win things, because guess what? That's what attracts the fan base, and that's what enables us to be a valuable club. Because guess what? Those guys down the district line in SW6 are a more valuable club than Arsenal, because guess what? They win trophies and they win in Europe. So put that in the onion bag before you come out with this crap that you continuously come out with, or the crap that I heard one podcaster saying on her Twitter page. I had to go through the different means. Oh, people like me and you are out of order because we said the truth that Arteta won the FA Cup, Emery's team. Well, whose team did he win it with? He's only there a few months. He didn't buy any players. It was Emery's team. Oh, but you're not allowed to say that because that means you're demeaning the club, you're demeaning Arteta. No, we're not demeaning the club. We're not even demeaning him. We're stating the truth because that's what this podcast is all about, the truth. People will tell the truth. We're not making this up. We didn't dream up 8th places or losing to Unai Emery's Villarreal. We didn't dream up, getting battered by Liverpool. We didn't dream up the first 3 games of the season. We didn't dream it up. It's there in black and white, and that's what it is. We didn't, like I said, make the team go out and play like that. We didn't pick the team. Arteta picked the team. It's a results business. Therefore, Mikel Arteta is the alpha and omega when it comes to picking a team and the results, which means he should take responsibility. And so far, he does not warrant getting a 2-year contract. I don't care whether he's going to be the best boss in 2 or 3 years' time. That's irrelevant to Arsenal. It's like Pepe having a great tournament for Africa, for Côte d'Ivoire. Who cares? That's for Côte d'Ivoire. It's what he does for Arsenal that I care about.
100%. Listen, well said, mate. Well said. Listen, while there's over 1,150 people watching, make sure, number one, you are smacking the likes up. Number two, anybody who suffers from any sort of mental health, depression, anxiety, or low self-esteem, and listen, I can imagine that supporting Arsenal can get you like that. But all laughing matters aside, this is a serious matter. Obviously, we lost a dear friend of ours. And as everybody in this chat knows, he suffered massively from mental health issues on a daily basis. I know a lot of you guys in the chat do as well. So I want you to watch this 1 minute long video on Werripy, an intro video, and take a listen to this. The link for this website is pinned to the comments section, and it's also in the description for everyone watching on playback.
Why wait to see a therapist when you can get therapy whenever and wherever you like? Introducing Werripy Plus, an online platform packed with courses designed by psychotherapists and mental health experts. No need to pay expensive fees for your therapy anymore. Subscribe to Werripy Plus to access our unique and growing library of therapy courses, guided meditations, journaling programs, self-help software, and live seminars, all for the betterment of your mental health. You will also get free and unlimited access to online group therapy sessions and an exclusive members-only discount on online individual therapy sessions with top-rated psychotherapists, all for $14 a month. Subscribe today and get your first 2 weeks free. Take control of your anxiety and depression today with Werripy Plus therapy, whenever, wherever. Visit www.werripy.com/Werripy Plus to subscribe.
Listen, big up to everybody who has gone and checked that website out. He's had a good response back off it so far. So big up to everyone who has checked that out. Make sure you do go and check it out. It is a 2-week free trial. And after that, it is $14 a month, of which $1 goes to the Gunnar Claude Trust, which is a nice touch from Philip, who runs the website. So do go and check that out. It's free of charge for 2 weeks. Plenty of courses on there, and I'll show you around some of that in a short while. But Jez, Kenny's right, man. Like this football club is huge. It is not some tin pot football club. Jez, you grew up literally on the doorstep of Highbury, literally. Yeah, Kenny, you were literally just across the road. Yeah, like I was a little bit further away, but it was like 40 mile away. Arsenal have always been this massive football club. Like, despite people thinking that Arsene Wenger made the club, no, Arsene Wenger was very successful at this football club until the last 10 years or 12 years of his reign, really. Yeah, a few FA Cups, and he came in, smashed Fergie up a few times, won the league 3 times, doubles, invincibles, all of that. It was fantastic. But we were massive before that, right? And when Wenger came in, this ain't a dig at Wenger. That was the introduction of Sky Sports era, really. It was like, 3 years into Sky Sports, the globalization of football, or Premier League football. And they went hand in hand. Obviously, the revenues start going up and up and up because of TV deals and stuff like that. And I think people forget that even before Premier League, this football club was very successful, very successful. 10 titles before Premier League was formed, you know, and I feel like it's all a case of people now just look at it and go, oh, well, it don't matter. It's the taking part that counts. No, it's about winning, man. Yeah, we decided this summer to go completely rip up everything and go and buy a load of kids. Yeah, because that has lowered the standards, and they've done that deliberately. Yeah, and how do you see us getting out of this, Jez?
How do I see us getting out of this? A complete restructure of the management. It's Arteta is one problem. The other problem is we have people directing the club from above, and I'm not talking about the Cronkies. I'm talking about Edu, Venai, Garlic Head, and all that lot. You know, they're the people. They, to me, just aren't experienced enough. Edu, yeah, okay, he was he played football, but there's a massive loss of direction from these people. They seem to be more content with mediocrity than leading Arsenal back to the good times. And you're quite correctly in what you said about Arsenal they've been a big club since the 30s. Let's get it right. You know, 32-33 league championship, 33-34 league championship, 34-35 FA Cup, 35-36 league championship, 36-37 FA Cup. That is probably the best, most successful period
in our history
ever, because we have never ever won 2 back-to-back league championships since. And you know, Arsenal have always, over the years, the 40s, the 50s, 60s, bit of a issue there, have always won a championship, or they've won an FA Cup of some description. Now, I cannot honestly see Arsenal Football Club under the current direction of Edu, Vinay, Garlic Head, and the rest of them, and Arteta as our manager, winning anything. We are not going to win the Premier League with these people in control. And until the Cronkies realise this and decide to have a major restructure, we are in deep trouble. And Arteta has proven to us that he upsets people. He's arrogant. He has no clear direction. We can see that on the touchline. Every single sodding game, he stands there doing all these weird signals and things. Do you honestly think the players understand any of that?
Yeah.
Do you think pre-match discussion or at training with the players, he explains what all this means? I honestly don't believe that. You know, people can learn sign language. Yeah. Footballers, I'm sure, don't understand any of that sign language at all. They might stand there and think, what the hell is he doing? Now, you know, as I said to you, when I was at Brighton, that horrible, cold, wet, crappy day, and Partey was going down, and Arteta's doing this, and you can see he looks so confused, looking at him, thinking, well, "What do you want me to do? What am I doing?" And this sums up the whole philosophy of Arteta. In his, it's almost I get the opinion, it's like an ego boost to him. He wants to be on the pitch. But he can't go on the pitch, so he'll stand in his technical area all game, pouncing about, circling his hands and whatever he's doing.
Yeah, look at him. He's got loads of passion. Look at him. He's trying so hard. Yeah, the fans love it.
Shit. He doesn't do anything of
concern. And it's funny that you mentioned that game against Graham Potter, because that game, Potter was like that on the touchline in his chair with his hood up, just chilling pretty much the whole game. And then the only time he got up was to have a chat with his number 2 about which sub to bring on. Yeah, and then he called the sub back and he came on and he went and sat back down. And the difference between them two managers, one of them set his team up with a game plan that they fully understood. Yeah, and they went out and executed it. The other one didn't set his team up with a game plan they understood, so he has to micromanage all the way through the game. Yeah, and that is the difference. And remember the press conference reaction I did a couple of months back, where it was for the Man United game, and he was asked what different, how many different formations can Man United play because they've got so many different players. Which starting 11 do you expect? He said, we don't focus on the other team, we just focus on our team. Yeah, we're just going to set up our team. When he said that, that hit a thing with me. Yeah, light bulb moment. I was like, that's why he micromanages, because he don't set up the team to play for what he's playing against. He just sets it up and thinks, right, well, we can go and do this. Obviously, he'll be watching what Man United do, right? Of course he will. Or I'd like to think he will. But I don't think he's sitting there saying, right, look, every time you get the ball, Wan-Bissaka does this, so go and do that. He ain't telling them that. He's not Jose Mourinho or Pep or someone like that. Yeah, he's just going to say, right, what we've got to do is when we get the ball, be direct, do this, do that, which is why he stands there micromanaging, because he realizes, oh, shit, this ain't working. Now I've got to try and change it. And it's all there.
He's panicking. He is panicking. And that's because he has no direction. And his whole, you know, I mean, can I, before I shut up, can I just say, until we get a class manager coach, we're not going to do sod all. Now, unfortunately, we are currently stuck with 3 idiots behind the scenes that are quite happy with Arteta, and that sums it up. If they're saying, oh, we're going to give you another contract, then, dear God, you should be taken out round the back and have the shit kicked out of you by Kenny. It's absolutely shocking. And what Arsenal Football Club need to do is go out and say to somebody like Simeone, right, Simeone, we want you. How much is it going to cost us? How much we got to pay you out of your football club? Come to Arsenal and sort out this crap.
Mate, do you know what the problem would be, though? Is, like, I want to read a couple of these comments, right? This one, he's too arrogant. 100% he's too arrogant.
Yes.
Yeah, so arrogant. This one as well. A lot of Arsenal fans won't like Potter because of his hair. He looks like he cuts it with a knife and fork. He also looks like Lee Gunner. And, yeah, they definitely won't want that, will they?
He's got a beard. He's got a beard, though. So,
well, I shaved mine off today because it was too itchy. Yeah.
No,
Itchy. You got to let him grow properly before so it
Oh,
don't
mate,
itch.
I can't stand it. It's itchy, man. And it took 3 weeks to grow it that long. And Potter has managed through 4 Swedish divisions with Östersund and 2 in England. And that is a great comment, right? Because he has literally gone from bottom tier to top tier in Sweden. Beat us at the Emirates. We were there, Kenny. He beat us at the Emirates, and we managed to get through because of the first leg. Yeah. Right. And they probably should have won the tie over the 2 over that on that night, because they battered us that night. And he's actually out to earn his stripes. And this is the problem. It doesn't matter what manager we go and get next. All these ones that have been riding for Arteta will find a problem with the next manager regardless. Every single one of them. They did it with Unai Emery. Yeah, literally.
100%.
Unai Emery. Go on, Kenny.
No, I just said 100%. I was agreeing with you.
Oh, sorry, mate. When I was talking, I didn't hear you. That's why I was like, shut up. But no, we've seen it firsthand with Unai Emery. You know, so many of this fan base didn't want Unai Emery because it weren't Arsene Wenger. Yeah, and they weren't going to back him regardless. You know, and then he gets sacked, and it's, oh, Arteta. Oh, yeah, we'll have some of that, because it weren't the man coming in after Arsene Wenger. It's the man after. Yeah, so they're going to back it. And then they've dressed it up as a youth project. Let's go through this Project Youth real quick, yeah? Right, because like I said earlier, 2 of our best players are balling out in Marseille. Yeah, literally, they are ripping that league to pieces at the minute. Guendouzi's like up there as one of the best, if not the best midfielder out there at the minute. Yeah, they've got the best defense in the league, of which Salah's part of it. He pocketed Mbappe the other week, by the way. Yeah, which ain't easy. Yeah. So 2 of our best Project Youth are out there. Maitland-Niles is on loan in Italy. It's just laughable. Then Ramsdale, he's been brilliant. He's been superb. Tomiyasu ain't good enough. I know, I've seen enough now. Ain't good enough. Yeah, ain't good enough. He wins a few headers and he doesn't get skinned as much as Bellerin. That shouldn't be the benchmark. Yeah, that guy against Cucurella against Odson Edouard, against Jota the other night, against Minamino at Anfield. Where was he? What was he doing? Yeah, he don't overlap. He don't cross the ball. He don't get in the box. Yeah, he just stands at number 10. Ain't good enough. This league and modern football is about overlapping fullbacks. Look at Trent. Yeah, so we go and buy a fullback that don't overlap. Well done, Arteta. Maybe he can overlap. Maybe that's the instructions. I don't know. Benjamin Shite. Well, it does what it says on the tin. Shite. Gabriel, I think is brilliant. I genuinely do. I think he's quality. Right, but again, under a proper coach, he would go up levels. Under this one, he's going to stagnate. Yeah, and a proper coach are stop him being so rash, right? Because he is so rash at times, and he gets himself sent off like the other week against City. Kieran Tierney's regressed under this manager. Yeah. Then you go into midfield. Sambi Lokonga is not as good as Guendouzi. Don't care what anyone tells me. Yeah, he might be a great player going forward in the future. Right now, nah, not that great. From what I've seen, great performance here, shit performance there. He's a kid. He'll learn, hopefully, under a proper manager when this one gets sacked. Then you go to Smith Rowe. Started off the season poor, had a purple patch, probably wasn't fit the other night. Good player, really rate him. Really, really rate him. Yeah, and I think he's one of our better youngsters. Then we go to Bukayo Saka. Needs to have shooting practice. Looks knackered again. Again, I think under a top coach, he could go on and be a top player. Under this one, he's going to be burnt out by the 23, 24. Martinelli, love him. He's our best player. And then Eddie Nketiah, not good enough. So for me, I'm just being honest with it. That's the Project Youth for me. They ain't good enough. They're not good enough. Gabriel's good enough. Ramsdale seems good enough off what I've seen so far. Yeah, he's taken to it like a fish to water, like a duck to water. He's been brilliant. And out of all Odegaard, I forgot Odegaard. Oh, Gibraltar. It's not easy if it ain't Gibraltar, is it, mate? Yeah. So out of all of the signings that this club have made under this manager in the summer, for me, the only one that's actually can stand there and say, yeah, I've played really well all season is the goalkeeper that none of us wanted. When your goalkeeper is your best player pretty much every week, yeah, there's a fucking issue. There's an issue. Yeah, and I don't see any of these players kicking on. Ramsdale has kicked on from his days in the other clubs. Yeah, but that's because he's an Arsenal fan and he's come in with hunger, passion and fight. It's nothing to do with Mikel Arteta. Mikel Arteta ain't telling him how to save a ball.
No.
He's just picking him in the starting 11. Yeah, and listen, fair play to Arteta for picking him. Yeah, but he ain't telling him how to save a ball or anything, is he? Let's be real with it. Yeah, Tommy Yasu's been up and down, up and down, up and down. For me, he ain't good enough. Yeah, just because he's 6 foot and can win a header, whoop he fucking do. Cross a ball, mate. Well, your job's to defend and your job's to cross a ball. Every flipping fullback in this league attacks and he don't. He's the only one in the league that don't attack. Mad. Yeah, and I just think like if we're going to move forward with this crop that we have now and then add to it, we need to get a different manager. Otherwise, this is going to be us sitting here again in a year's time, saying the same crap. What do I know? I'm negative.
He's over by January. That's Arsenal. You know, out of the cups, not in Europe, and not going to win the league. And that's the way, the Arsenal way at the moment. So, people.
Well, yeah, it's mad. And this comment here: young manager, young CEO, young director of football, young owner. Because the son is probably the owner. That's the youth project we are waiting for to bang, not the players on the pitch. Yeah. And that sums it all up because we have got Josh Kroenke who don't know nothing about football. We've got Vinay who don't know nothing about football. Yeah, he's a commercial guy, commercial deals. Well done, mate. We already had the deals before you got the job. Yeah, so what have you actually brought to the table? Because the Fly Emirates deal was already there. Yeah, the Adidas deal was already there. Yeah, all the Visit Rwanda was already there before he got the CEO job. So where are these deals?
Stadium as well is is the name right stadium is set in stone.
So but 27 minutes.
Yeah, but I think the biggest elephant in the room is I think we just have to give up, and accept the situation with the Kroenkes. The only way Arsenal are going to compete the way we want it, and we need an owner. A megalomaniac. Forget all this Daniel Weck and sucking up to the to Henri Vieira and Bergkamp, who doesn't fly, by the way. That's not a dig, that's a fact. How about what we need is a Abramovich type owner who's basically got to say, right, this is how we're going to do it. I'm spending the most money on player entrances. I'm spending the most money in terms of like the people in terms of improving the club. That means I want the best, which means I want the best players. I don't care how much he's worth. You're going to get him because I can afford it. I want the best manager. Doesn't matter how much he wants his salary, because I can afford it. You get him. It doesn't matter how much budget he wants. Yes, I can afford that as well. So get him. So that's what Arsenal need, is that kind of manager who's basically going to say, I want excellence in every position, which means if it's excellence on the field, then the manager has to be excellent. The coaching staff he has around him is going to be excellent. His vices have to be excellent. Look what happened with Chelsea. Two things he did at Chelsea. Peter Kenyon. He nicked Peter Kenyon from Man United, and then he went to Tottenham and got the best scouts in Europe, Frank Arneson, because they're the best. He made sure they came to Chelsea. He went and spent that in his first season cash on that outlay of players, and then he went and sorted out Cobham because their ground in Hayes and Harlington was a shitter. I played there. I should not. You know what I mean? And the showers are disgraceful as well. They're like one line. But and then he made sure, I said, right, I want the best youth project. That's what Arsenal need. You forget about saying, let's get rid of the Cronkies. Let's get a megalomaniac, the sort of megalomaniacs that bought Newcastle and Man City, because it's not going to change. You're not going to see Arsenal win a league title unless you go down that process. This organic process isn't working, all right? Because simple reason is that a world-class manager, won't come to the club. All right, Klopp, fell in love with the idea of rock and roll football in Liverpool. That Liverpool was probably the same sort of city as Dortmund and West in Germany. Yes, Klopp's unique. He's unique. Not every manager thinks like Klopp. Because guess why? A lot of managers that go to these clubs and work for megalomaniacs, they don't last. Managers that we want at Arsenal ain't going to be here for 5 or 10 years. They want to be here 2 years, tops 3 years. Basically, they want everything in place for them because these managers interview you. You don't interview them. They interview you. They want to know if they're working with the best director of football in the business. They want to know how much they're going to get. They're going to look at the players and right, I've taken a look at him. No, I don't want him. Get me something better. We work. And then give me as much money as I want, everything I need, and I'll get you the league, maybe in season 1 or season 2, and I'll get you into the European Cup, and you will have a bash at it. And guess what? They deliver because they're the best. And the reason why they deliver is because you're giving them the tools to work with. So when I hear Arsenal being linked with Conte and all these other managers, it's not going to happen because we've got juveniles or YTS idiots in the club. Why do you think Gerrard went to Aston Villa? And why do you think Aston Villa are urgently trying to buy? Because guess what? They've got one of the best football people in business, in Christian Perslow. We know he's one of the best because he was at Chelsea and then he was at Liverpool. So his reputation, precedes him. As Vinay been headhunted by anyone in football? He wasn't working in football before. So who is Vinay in football circles? And nobody. Edu worked for Brazil. Whoopie do. Guess it's not a difficult job to be a Brazilian scout because guess what? They get players and say, right, in order for that Brazilian club to make money, they've got to produce players who can go to Europe for a lot of money. So basically,
he was in the Brazilian national team.
Yeah, all right. So he's Brazilian national, but the same situation is get player. Any system he is in Brazil, because I know he was in a club before he went to the Brazilian national team. Get a player, make sure he's great for Europe. Forget about the samba football. We want someone who's big, strong, athletic, can run, go to Europe, go to Bundesliga, go to Spain, go to France, Portugal, boom, boom. They give us a transfer fee, the club makes money, and the club can survive. That is what he was doing in Brazil. He wasn't doing the sort of, like the job perspectives that we need in England. And that is the biggest problem with Arsenal. I've had enough. Get Kroenke's sell the club and get a megalomaniac in. Not any other owner. I don't care whether this owner cares about the club. I want someone who will kill Bambi. not just Bambi. I want him to kill Bambi's sister. I want to kill Bambi's brother, and I want him to kill Bambi's grandfather. I.e., in footballing terms, make horrible decisions that are unpopular, but is a winner. That's what Arsenal win. Winners. We don't have winners here anymore. The Arsene Wenger approach is over.
Yep.
You know, having the French market itself is over. What Sir Alex is doing at Man United is over. Accept the football as it is now. I want to win. And the only way we're going to win is by following that process. It's not difficult. It's not popular. Any fan who doesn't want to be part of it, fine, that's all right. Do what Man United fans
they
do.
can fuck off down the lane, mate.
No, they don't have to. They don't have to. No, this is even better. Man United fans who weren't happy with the Glazers went and formed FC Manchester of United. So why can't Arsenal fans who are not happy with my process form another club and call it, you know, Highbury Academicals or anything? But whilst we're here and trying to get this process to win trophies, not in the way you like, that's the way we're going to win it. Stop trying to pretend. Stop writing articles and saying Arteta has changed things and there's a clear process of what he's doing. Stop wasting your time.
That's what
a clear
plan.
Stop wasting your plan and get your right acolytes there. It's not working. It's not going to work. It's only going to take us tops 5th place occasionally, or maybe 6th place on a regular basis. It's not going to get Arsenal where they should be. Stop this. Stop kidding yourselves and talking absolute rubbish. You pork chops.
I just want to read this comment out real quick. Your owners are the 3rd biggest net investors behind City and United in the last 7 years. The fuck are you talking about? Entitled fans, show some respect. Mate, you've just answered your own question. So how comes Liverpool have won the title in that time then? Because if Liverpool have spent less than Man United and City, then how comes Liverpool have won the title then? How comes Leicester have won a title in that time?
Lee, that's the pork chop I'm talking about. That's the pork chop that has just put that in. The only reason why he's not like a mega pork chop is that he didn't actually pay you to put that shit in. He is an absolute pork chop, and that is what we're dealing with. We're dealing with pork chops like that who come out with this absolute rubbish. Who did not own, who refused to own the fact that they support the biggest club in the country, that is basically a club that has to win. Arsenal have to win the title. Because, you know, guess what, right? After we won the title in 1989, we should have said, never again are we going to go this long without a trophy, because we did that in 53 and went 17 years without a trophy. And you thought, right, there's a second time it's going to happen, never again. And we've gone and done it the 3rd time. When did we learn at Arsenal? How did we allow this to happen? After the fact that you've had George Graham, you had Arsene Wenger, you had a pedigree winning. How have you allowed this to just sit by and allow clubs that are not on our level to go run past us and shut the door, slam the door with lock and key?
Money, Kenny. I'll give an example, Kenny, right? If you win the Premier League title, you get about 160 million, I think it is, yeah? Roughly. If you come 2nd in the table, you don't get the trophy, but you still qualify for the Champions League. And I think you get about 120 million, 140 million, something like that. So why are you going to go out as a football club, right? If you come 4th, I think you still get well over 100 mil, right? So you might lose out on that extra 60 mil from finishing 1st to 4th. You haven't won the title, but you still qualify for Champions League, right? Which will then give you a whole load more money, right? So why are you going to go out there and do an extra 100 million in the summer, and then you might not win the trophy? So then you come 4th. So then you've broke even from what you've got back. They're not going to do it. That's why they're cashed out. Wenger and the Cronkies and everyone that was involved in the club at the time, they just went, yeah, let's do this the cheapest way possible to make the maximum amount of money for ourselves. That man was getting paid the highest wages in world football, mate. Yeah, not Pep, not Jose, not Klopp, not Conte, not Tuchel, Arsene Wenger. And he conned everyone that we couldn't compete. Yeah, he conned us. He conned everyone that stadium was paid off. And that's why we had to keep selling Nasri and Clichy and Sagna and Omri and all these other stars that we had. No, we didn't. Yeah. This lot paid it off in 2019 or 18 or whenever it was. And since then, we've spent more money than any club in world football. Yeah. So how dare we sit here and want to compete when we've done, since Arsene Wenger's left this club, we've done nearly £500 million. Look at the state of that squad. $500 million.
I'll tell you what, Lee. I'll tell you what, and I'm not bigging up you, Kenny, or me. If the three of us were the backroom staff, we would do a fucking sight better job. And I'll tell you for why, right? We're all in business. I've run my own business. We love football. We are very knowledgeable about football, and we are passionate for Arsenal. That means a hell of a lot. Now, I know back in the past, there's a couple of people we had at Arsenal that, Lee, or maybe you don't like. We had David Dean. We had Peter Hill-Wood, who would stab their hearts for Arsenal Football Club. It was their passion. It was their love. And that makes a hell of a difference. You cannot tell me Vinay, Richard Garlickhead, right, love Arsenal. They don't give a fuck about Arsenal. All they give about is their paychecks. Yeah, they're not interested. Edu wants an Arsenal player. He's got no love for Arsenal. There's no passion. So why is he going to go the extra mile? You know, as we all know, in the summer transfer window, he's on holiday when he should be working his nuts off, right? Yeah, okay, fair enough. Go out for a few hours in the morning on your jet ski. Then, mate, get on your laptop, get on whatever it is, get in contact with people, get in contact with your contacts that you met when you worked for the Brazilian football FA. Yeah, start tapping a few people up, sounding things out, looking around, who's available. Right, let's get in contact. Let's have a chat. Get on the phone. Say, right, how much? You know, we're interested in so and so. How much do you want for him? You know, and if you want him, don't piss arse about and say, like we did with other players, just say, okay, well, you want 65 million. We'll give you on the nose 63 now. And we'll give the agent 5%, and he can get another 10% over 3 years because we've done the deal. Blah, 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 add-ons for the player, job done, player in. That's all it fucking takes. It's not hard fucking work. And this is what winds me up with this bastard football club, is we fuck arse around and we get ourselves in the shit state we're in. And I'm sorry if I'm having a rant, but I am seriously getting the arse. Seriously getting the arse, especially when I see that this football club, I nearly said something really bad then, but this
breathe, mate. Breathe.
Yeah, or a thinking or rumouring of giving this absolute prick a 2-year deal. Tell me why. Somebody tell me why. Why is it?
Chess. You know why? You know why he's got a 2-year deal.
I'll be back in a minute. I am listening.
You know why he's got a 2-year deal. You know why they're even thinking about this? Because people are still to this day. It's people like the Arsene Wenger, Jose Mourinho, Guardiola, everyone in football saying that this guy's going to be a great coach, that he's got a great tactical brain, that, you know, he's improved the players like Sterling and everything. And that's why this guy is seen as like the next coming. I mean, it's like it reminds me of a scene out of Jesus of Nazareth when when Jesus is on the donkey and you've got everyone. It's like Palm Sunday, and everyone thinks that Jesus is this guy who's actually a soldier that's going to force the Romans out of Jerusalem and what was Israel in biblical terms. And that's how Arsenal fans see Arteta. They see him as a second coming. They see him as a second coming Arsene Wenger. And yet, what people seem to forget, and they never accept that Arteta's, biggest, like, how do I say it, icon, the person who influenced him the most, the person he probably had the most respect for, even more than Arsene Wenger and Guardiola, is David Moyes. And that is no criticism of David Moyes, but the kind of football, there's no, like Phil Swanton was saying, is actually the fact that Mikel Arteta played his best football under David Moyes when he was at Everton, after he left Glasgow Rangers. He was playing, and he would have learnt a lot about David from David Moyes as well, and how David Moyes dealt with players and dealt with problem players at Everton, and how he made it so. Because if you look at David Moyes, he was at Preston, which was not in the Premiership. It was a Championship club, and then, you know, for some reason they thought they're going to go organically and give him the job at Everton in 2002. And all intents and purposes, he was one of the longest serving managers, and he did a adequate job for Everton.
Yeah.
But this is Mick Arteta is a micronism, if not like a reincarnation of David Moyes. He's not. Yes, he worked for Arsene Wenger, and yes, he worked for Pep Guardiola. But anyone who doesn't include, you know, David Moyes as one of the most influential figures in Mikel's footballing life is mistaken, because that is the kind of football we've been seeing. In terms of like Mick Arteta, you know, like being a micromanager, and the fact that like there's a clear plan. Well, sorry, all I saw on Thursday was off the cuff football, and that when Liverpool worked us out, that was it. We were running on empty. That's what I saw against Forest. In fact, against, you know, teams who are outside the top six, we look great. We are playing fast for, you know, like I said, you know, football on the front foot. We're playing with great velocity and you know, like I said, great athleticism as well. And that works against teams who haven't got the best defenders and haven't got the best midfielders. But against good teams, we struggle. Even as much as people say Man United are crap, mate, yeah, we still struggle against them when Man United are on the ball, because they still have players of footballing intelligence to see through our playing. Whatever you say about Rafa Benitez's job at Everton, he still worked us out, didn't he? Worked us out. And I think that's the problem. Decent coaches who have experienced players will work us out, because we work us out. If they stay in the game for the first 15 or 20 minutes and they don't allow us to get the first goal, then what will happen? They become comfortable. Yeah.
We need somebody like Alan Sugar. You know, when he had Tottenham, there was no nonsense. He's the sort of bloke, he's an ex-Barrow boy from the East End, as we all know, and he don't piss about.
Well, he got rid of Venables, did he?
Yeah. Yeah. You know, so that's the sort of people we need in this club.
Somebody who's just ruthless. That's all we need. And I'm glad you mentioned Everton. They sacked Ancelotti and they've sacked Rafa Benitez. Two managers that are better than Arteta. Two managers that have got a European.
Yeah, but you know, Lee, can I just cut into you? I've got a pork chop. Who, me and him have good banter. We like each other, but he's a pork chop, and he probably thinks I'm a pork chop. Anyway, every time West Ham lose, he says I'm in the mud. He'll say, you know, because remember, I call for Rafa, I call for Mourinho. He'll come back and say, try and say that he's trying to catch me out. But what he wants me to do, and I know you're watching, mate, you want me to do down Arsenal, because you want to say that to be proved right, I want Arsenal to lose, don't you, mate? Ain't going to happen, because when Arsenal lose, it hurts me deeply. Right? I don't like saying these about Arsenal. I want to be like you and think that, everything's like Little House on the Prairie, where we all live together, or, bit of neighbours, or maybe where you leave your doors open in the early Coronation Street episodes. I want that. But guess what? Life ain't like that. I'm going to call the club to account if it's not behaving like a club of the stature of Arsenal Football Club, and I'm going to carry on doing it. And if you don't like it, mate, well, as I say, you know our favourite phrase: try harder.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, listen, Ancelotti didn't get sacked; he left. Yeah, but he left for the biggest club in world football. Yeah, before he got sacked, because he was going to get sacked. Let's be real; they were doing crap, right? And he was going to get sacked. He's gone to Real Madrid, and they're walking a title. Yeah, but
he's a top manager. He's a top
manager. And this is the thing, right? This is how ruthless Real Madrid fans are. And bear in mind, they've won over 100 trophies in their history, about 120 trophies. Something stupid I see the other day. They lost to FC Sheriff in a Champions League game, right? Bear in mind, they just set a record for the most amount of goals scored after 10 league games in La Liga, right? So he's got them playing sexy football. Vinicius Junior, Rodrigo, Benzema's bagging. They're smashing it. Yeah, they lose to FC Sheriff, and the whole of the Bernabeu is booing, whistling, jeering, and waving the white handkerchiefs. Yeah, that is the standard. Just because you're top of the league,
I've got one more for you
about the Champions League group. You do not lose to FC Sheriff, mate. So you do it again.
Lee, I've got one more for you. This, and because I know there's some Real Madrid fans in here. What has Jupp Heynckes and Del Bosco got in common?
Both got. I know. I was zipping.
I'll tell you what. Both won the Champions League. One of them, both won the Champions League. One of them was one of Real Madrid's most successful managers. He was actually the manager when they first had the Galacticos. But guess what? Yep. They got sacked
2 days later.
Yeah,
and actually, Del Bosque actually won the double.
Yeah,
because he won the league, and 2 or 3 days later he won the Champions League, and then the next day or the day after they sacked him.
It's like, because guess what? Standards.
That's the standards. They knew he was
won a
on his way
double
out.
at Chelsea. Sacked. Standards.
Yeah.
Di Matteo fluked the Champions League and the FA Cup against Liverpool. Sacked.
And that's the standards. They sacked Ancelotti at half time.
Yeah,
Chelsea,
Everton.
They sacked Ancelotti at half time.
Yeah, against Everton, didn't it?
Yeah, didn't they sack? Who did they sack? They sacked another one. I think they sacked another one. Was it? No, it weren't Benitez. It was somebody else. They sacked another one at half time as well. But do you remember
was
when
Scolari?
Was
Scolari. Was it Scolari?
It might have been Scolari. Yeah, it might have been
the World Cup winner.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what's happened? You know the thing that hurts me more. That can you see the caliber of the manager that they got and they don't need anymore, and we're stuck with that.
Mate, it's mad. And this is the thing. I ask any Arteta fan out there, right, to come and answer these questions. Firstly, do you look at Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, and think, yeah, Arteta's the man to get us challenging against them? Right, that's the first question. Second question is when you lot sit there and say, oh, but we need a striker. Hello, we've got one of the most prolific strikers in Europe for the last 8 years sitting at home because this manager fell out of him. So why can't we bring him back? Number 3, who is that prolific striker? Number 4, when you lot sit there and say, yeah, but no other manager in the world would be able to come in and compete with this squad. Let me just tell you this. No other manager in the world would have done £250 million on that fucking squad. They would have bought a better squad ready for now, not one that might do well in 3 years, which, by the way, hello, reality check, it fucking won't. Yeah? So let's stop wasting the next 3 years away and actually go and get a proper manager that will get the results now. It ain't a results business in 3 years. It's a results business now. How many games has this manager been in charge of and how many games has he lost? It is embarrassing, man. Like, honestly, embarrassing. And people got on Unai Emery's case. I'd take Unai Emery back right now. I ain't even fucking with you. I would take him back
apparently, according to a lot of fans, journalists, wannabe ones, by the way, not say that the way he played was sustainable, that we were a mess, that they were calling the fact that we conceded loads of goals and that you know we got lucky with the results. That, you know, Unai Emery was like, he was like Frankenstein to a lot of these fans. We got Arteta with inferior results, but they can see a process. I mean, you got a female Wazik who we all know, who goes on a lot of podcasts and, you know, talks a lot about a football match 32 years ago in a spring summer. Apparently, Unai Emery lost the dressing room. He lost the dressing room. What was it? Because he fell out of Mesut Ozil. So the same manager fell out of Mesut Ozil, got rid of him, fall out of Aubameyang. Saliba, he won't touch the barge pole, and he won't touch Guendouzi again, who was an excellent midfielder. But that excellent midfielder and someone who, with the right coaching, could have been able to respect not only the fact his teammates, but respect his position. Because sometimes Guendouzi didn't do that. He played, you know what I mean? He played a bit like Paul Winks when he first was at West Ham, a bit off the cuff, not respecting his position, until when Paul Winks went to Man United, they found a position as one of the best DMs in the business.
And let's be real here.
Position.
Yeah. And let's be real here. Guendouzi never had an issue with Unai Emery, did he?
No.
Guendouzi never a petulant child, which is being portrayed in the media by the puppet journalists that work in liaison with Arsenal. Yeah, as always got an attitude problem. These top gooners have got short memories. Do you know that? They've just cast aside Aubameyang like he's nobody, right? When that guy's still our best striker at this football club by a country mile. To replace Aubameyang's goals, even though he weren't great last season, he started this season crap. To replace that geezer's goals, is going to be hard. Yeah, because if we ain't going to get this geezer from Fiorentina. And to be honest, I don't fucking want him. Did you see Ivan Toney's goal today? Did you see his goal?
I don't know, man. I ain't got the Zoe Spain. I've got to watch it back today.
I get him in real time. It comes up goal flash, so I can click straight to the next game. So I was goal in the Wolves game.
As I said, when you got the Zone package, especially an overseas one, not the UK one, we have to wait and see it. They still lost though.
And he volleyed it. He peels off the back stick on a free kick. Nobody's marking him. Free kick comes in and just slapped it first time on a volley. Anybody who sits in this chat and tells me that guy is not good enough for Arsenal, I'm sorry.
But there are people. There are
people
who say
that Dusan Vlahovic in this league. I'm telling you right now.
They are saying it though. There are people who are on Twitter who, let's face it, got a lot of respect from most, because they got a lot of followers and they write a lot of articles. They are pointing towards the fact that Watkins, DCL, and Ivan Toney haven't scored a good goals. But everyone, I'm going to go back 30. Sorry, let's go back 31, 32 years when Anders Limpar first came to the club. He was playing. I think he was playing for Florence in Italy. And when he came to Arsenal, he went for a really good scoring patch. And they said, "What's changed since you've come to this club?" He goes, "Well, the reason why I'm scoring a lot of goals is I'm playing a better team with better players."
Yeah. And mate, if we had like this comment, where's the comment I want to see? There you go, Lee. They'd rather have Lacazette shit because he works hard. Yeah, and that is absolutely spot on, right? Lacazette. Oh, he runs around. Look at him. He works hard. Oh, he puts his back into it and pops his backside out. What he does is no worse than what Harry Kane does, by the way. And our fans go nuts at Harry Kane for being dangerous play. Yeah, Lacazette does that every fucking game. The only difference is Lacazette don't make it obvious he's looking at the player about to jump over him. Yeah, he's a bit slyer with it, right? Lacazette is not prolific. Lacazette is never going to win you a title. Aubameyang, with the right manager, with a few better players around us, could be that striker. Yeah, not now, because it's too far gone for him now. Yeah, and I still think he is a quality striker. But the fact and reality is, with Aubameyang, he has not played as a striker for pretty much 2 years now. And now we don't know what the falling out is. He deserves to get back in that team. On current form, Lacazette has not been doing it. Right? On current form, Eddie Nketiah, has Eddie Nketiah ever had any current form? Like good form? No. So why ain't Aubameyang back in the squad? Why was he not in the squad the other day? He was at home. He was on his treadmill saying, "My heart's fine, everything's cool." So why weren't he in the squad? Yeah, because this manager's ego is too fucking big. That's why. And it's to the detriment of this football club. If we don't get top 4 this season, there'll be a lot of people that will turn on Arteta. Right? If we finish 5th or 6th, a lot of these people are still going to go, "Oh, well, it don't matter. We're back in Europe." And that is, for me, a joke. If we had Aubameyang playing as a striker, playing to his strengths, we walk in that top 4, even with this manager. Because he is a quality striker. But if he wants to get rid, and he is going to be the manager going forward, then we have to look at other options. We could do a lot worse than Ivan Toney and Ollie Watkins, mate. Trust me. They are fucking class. And
they're not British, though, innit? They're British. They're British. As I said, I was speaking
and they already know the league.
Yeah, but I was speaking to your, the guy you promoted, Northside London.
Big up Northside.
Yeah, lovely guy, man. He loves my Portuguese pronunciations, by the way. But on a serious level, I think the problem is that Arsenal fans on the whole have been kind of brainwashed, or dare I say lobotomized, which is a very more polite word than brainwashed, into thinking that everything, across the French Channel and beyond is better than what we got. They don't want players who've done it in their league or worked their way up. They want someone who's scoring goals in Serie A and all the other places. They want all those players. Someone who's tearing up the Spanish league. Someone who's tearing up you know, in France, which Lacazette was doing when he was at Lyon. They want those kind of players because they, you know, they think that, you know, obviously, rightly so, you know, that Arsenal's becoming like a cosmopolitan club. But at the end of the day, you know, you can mix it up. You know, let's look at the success stories of a club like Liverpool. You look at their best players. They, you know, they ploughed their trade at lower league clubs. Yes, Mane's a foreign player, but he did his best work before he went to Liverpool at Southampton. Jordan Henderson, Sunderland. I mean, James Milner, they're one of the best professionals. All three of those, all those players have got a league championship medal and a Champions League medal, and some have got runners-up medal because their goalkeeper basically gave Real Madrid a hand. You know what I mean? In winning the Champions League in 2018. So it's one of those things where there is direct evidence of these sort of players making transition if they have proper coaching.
Mate, it's true. Listen, there's a lot of players that are unfashionable names, unfunky like names. Dusan Vlahovic, I'm convinced 99.99% of Arsenal fans have never watched a geezer kick a football, mate. Yeah, but they're all experts on him. But then you say somebody like Ivan Toney, oh no, he's only scored 4 goals. Well, it's now 5. He's only scored 5 goals. Number one, he plays for fucking Brentford. Yeah. Number 2, he's basically playing the Lacazette role. Whereas last season, he wasn't playing the Lacazette role. He was playing an Aubameyang role because they were walking the championship. Now, he has to do a totally different job in the Premier League because he has to fight. He has to be the creative guy. He has to get the wingers involved.
Yeah, get Brian and Burma. He has to, you know, get Brian and Burma in the game as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's the thing. When you watch him play, he's strong, he's physical. I didn't recognize him. He shaved his hair. He took all of his hair off. I was like, fucking hell, he scored that. I was like, right, it's him. Yeah, but he brings everyone into play. He can win a header, which is something Lacazette can't do, by the way. Yeah, Aubameyang can't do it.
But to be honest,
he can hold the ball up. He scores goals. He's physical and he's got a great pass.
That's what we need. But you know, at the end of the day, let's face it. That if we're not getting in the top 4 or getting in Europe, we are going to be getting players like Ivan Toney, Ollie Watkins, maybe. I think he's going to want to play for Steven Gerrard, stay. But we will get players like him and DCL. There's because the reason is that they are going to see it as an upgrade. They're not, you know, because you know Liverpool may not come in for them. Man United won't come in for them. So they're going to look at Arsenal next level club. So we will be getting them, whether fans like it or not. You know, they have to accept that. You know, yes, I agree with them. To get in the Champions League, you need it.
Just want to answer this little fucking here.
Yeah,
guy in the chat, Dan Gooner, since 76. You are the 3 most miserable gits I've ever come across. Well, let me tell you, you little see you next Tuesday. You ain't a fucking gooner. You ain't a gooner. Because if you knew what the Gooners were, it was the Goon Squad. The Goon Squad were part of the NBA, the North Bank Army, back in the late 70s and fucking 80s. And you would never have got in the Goon Squad because they were the proper top boys. Yeah,
too right.
People like Steve, the fucking sheepskin. You know, always wore a sheepskin coat. Top boy, top player in the fucking Gooners. Yeah. So fuck off, you little cunt. Because if you want to call me out, I've been there, seen it, and fucking done it. And I know quite a few of the old Goon Squad back in the day who were the proper fucking wrong'uns who would rip your fucking head off and stick it up your fucking arse, you little
Go
cunt.
on, Jez. Yes.
Go on, mate. Go on.
Channel, Jez. Go on, mate.
All these little fucking idiots that call themselves Gooners, you ain't fucking Gooners. It was the Goon Squad, all right? And they were the proper boys. So you can all fuck off down the lane.
Yeah, well, that's what they're going to tell us because I could just imagine what I call the get along game, the tut thing, just slagging us off royally. But the day there is a platform. And there's one guy who slagged me off, slagged both of us off, for saying about how all these podcasts that like I said that we slag off indirectly, never slag us off. And that we should stop wasting our time talking about them because they don't talk about us. And that was his word of advice. I checked his the people he subscribes to, and it was blatantly obvious. One of them he was talking about that. Now, if anyone takes what that podcast says seriously, do me a favour, mate. Arsenal fans don't want nothing to do with that one. And we know what I'm talking about. In terms of like the other podcast, well, how comes I did like I said, a rant on my Instagram about one podcaster who accused people like us of wanting Arsenal to lose because of our disappointment of not the North London derby getting postponed. That is a podcast that was talking about us. So I think this guy who talks about our most previous podcast from last week needs to get his facts right. And stop being a
100%.
fanboy. Stop being a fanboy. It's boring. Let me tell you something now, right?
W6 knows, man. Chelsea.
Yeah, Tone's a real one, man.
Tony's a real
one, mate. Yeah, Tony's a real one. Tony's
He's
been
one of us, mate. He's only Chelsea. Yeah, but you know what, Tony,
he wanted to come on, but we're wrapping this up in a minute. Tone, I'll get you on for the next podcast. Yeah, you can come on and educate.
Definitely, we love it. Yeah, but you want one more thing, because I know you got to go. You got to go. One thing is, right, is that I know all these guys, right, and I've had dinner with them. I spent time with them, right. They haven't got time for some of their fans because they're too, ambitious in terms of where they want to go. They need you. After they don't need you, you've got to go, and that's how this business works. That's one of the reasons why I'm a very unsuccessful social media man, and I still got my proper job because at the end of the day, I don't know how to play the game.
Listen, I'm happy to get Tony on if we can do another 15 minutes or so. Yeah, you call for another 15 minutes, yeah?
Fucking right.
Yeah, get him on.
I'll send you the link. Yeah, I'll send you the link. Before I send you the link, I want to play this Werripy video. Please, 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 please do go and check this website out. Philip does a great job at Werripy. He's absolutely fantastic. He's a qualified psychotherapist. This website, Werripy Plus, is designed for people with mental health issues, depression, anxiety, and self-esteem issues. It offers I'll get there in a minute. It offers 2 weeks free trial to all of its services. And after that, it is $14 a month. I'm going to play this video. Please listen to it. It's a minute long. And this is all the services that are available on a 2-week free trial. Do go and check this out, people. The link is in the description for playback viewers, and it's pinned to the comments for the live chat.
A therapist when you can get therapy whenever and wherever you like. Introducing Werripy Plus, an online platform packed with courses designed by psychotherapists and mental health experts. No need to pay expensive fees for your therapy anymore. Subscribe to Werripy Plus to access our unique and growing library of therapy courses, guided meditations, journaling programs, self-help software, and live seminars, all for the betterment of your mental health. You will also get free and unlimited access to online group therapy sessions and an exclusive members-only discount on online individual therapy sessions with top-rated psychotherapists, all for $14 a month. Subscribe today and get your first 2 weeks free. Take control of your anxiety and depression today with Werripy Plus therapy, whenever, wherever. Visit www.werripy.com/Werripy Plus to subscribe.
And make sure you do go and check that out, people. Yeah, big up to everybody who has gone and clicked on that so far. He's had a great response off of the recent promotions. I'll be promoting that again all the way through the game tomorrow. Every single fan cam will have it as an intro as well. And also the player ratings tomorrow and the show with rants. And listen, if it's anything to go off of the last show with rants, yeah, Philip might be a millionaire by the end of the week. Yeah, because that show was mad. Tone, I've sent you the link, mate. I've sent you the link. And listen, the thing is, like, we don't sit here and pretend like we know everything about the club. I've sent it to WhatsApp, Tone. I've sent it to WhatsApp. I'll send it to Facebook Messenger now. I'll do it now. Yeah, we don't pretend like we know everything about the club and we're bigger and better fans than people, because we ain't, yeah? Like, at the end of the day, we just want what's best for our football club. And what's best for our football club is not this manager. And that's what we honestly believe, you know? And listen, people believe otherwise. A lot of people are lie through their teeth because it'll get them a better job. It'll get them a better sponsorship deal. It'll get them a better, you know, friendship circle. Yeah. At the end of the day, I couldn't care less. I've got my friends. I've got my family. And I've seen my club win a hell of a lot of trophies over my lifetime. You guys have seen a few more, but I've seen 17. That's without the finals that we've lost. So I can imagine that you and Kenny have probably seen what, touching 20?
Yeah, 21.
Yeah, there you go. That's without the finals that we've actually been in and lost. So we've actually seen, or I've seen personally, throughout my whole lifetime, Arsenal be great. So why should I sit here and accept a mediocre manager, a mediocre CEO, a mediocre technical director, a mediocre owner, and mediocre players? Why should I accept that? Because for my whole lifetime supporting this football club, I've seen great. Why should I lower my standards? And people that always sit there and say, oh, but you can't compete with this. You can't compete. Listen, bollocks. Liverpool are the fucking exception to the rule, mate. Because Liverpool has spent less money than most of the teams in the Premier League. And look at their team. Look at their manager. Out of their team, right? Let's be real here, yeah? If you was to ask every single Arsenal fan on the planet, would they take Jordan Henderson? I guarantee the majority would say no. Guarantee it. I guarantee if you ask the majority of Arsenal fans, would they take Joel Matip? The majority of them would say no. I guarantee if you asked Arsenal fans, would they take James Milner? The majority would say no. Divock Origi, the majority would say no. Yeah? Tsimikas, the majority would say no. I could carry on, by the way. Yeah, Minamino, another one. The majority would say no. Curtis Jones, the majority would say no. Yeah, Nat Phillips, the majority would say no. So what's the common denominator here, people? What is this thing that makes Liverpool so good and why they've been so competitive? I'll tell you why. The bloody manager. Because the manager is world class. He is a quality manager. James Milner is one of the best professional footballers I've ever seen in professional football. Here he is. Here he is. Look, he's ready. He's got his headphones on. Here he is. Go on, Tone. Take it away, mate. Take it away.
Take it away. Take it away.
I'm going for a piss, though, yeah?
No, listen. Nice to meet you, Jess. Because obviously I know Kenny. I've never met you before. I've watched you loads of times, mate, and massive respect to you. Old school. You know what you're talking about, mate. And you're absolutely right. You know, do you know the funny thing is, yeah, you know how to piss off and get rid of all these fucking arsehole Arsenal supporters that are piss, you know, the ones that trust the process and all that, all these ones that want to be part of the club but never fucking will be. Yeah. All you got to say to them, you've got to tell them where your origins are. I mean, that name, the Gooners, does come really from your hooligan element. You know, oh my goodness, really? Look, that can't be right. You mean to say you're calling me a gooner and they used to smash people up and infiltrate ends of football grounds and have fights all the time? You don't know your history, mate. You know, all these fucking idiots, mate. I know you do, Jess. I know you do, obviously, Kenny. And I know, obviously, that that Lee does. And I'm sure you educated him anyway from that period of time. But let me tell you something now, and people don't know this, and I'm sure you do, Jess, but in the 1970s, Arsenal were the real deal. Arsenal were the hooligan firm. No two ways about it, you know. Johnny Oy was your...
You had, you know, Sheepskin, Steve the Sheepskin, who was one of the top boys. And as you quite rightly said, you had Josh and all that. And yeah,
they coming out shed in 76. Well, it was 76. I can't remember now. And you sprayed the whole fucking shed with yellow paint. Yeah. You know, it was all you wear a yellow ribbon was your, you know. And I know you dropped off and in the 80s to become a bit more tribal. And you had Denton, didn't you, and all that lot. And that's where the Gooner thing come from.
Yeah, it was. You know, people want to call themselves a Gooner, that's fine. But when people want to try and fucking call you out, you know, then sorry, mate, you know, you ain't a fucking Gooner. Because I for too long in my life associated with proper top boy Gooners. And, you know, you get some little prick like that come out and try and call me, Kenny and Lee out, then you can go fuck yourself. Because you ain't been where I've come from and you ain't beaten them out. You know,
and that is your history, mate. That is part of your history. You can't wipe it out. That's part of Arsenal's history. You can't say, "Oh, we're Arsenal. We do it differently." And I mean, I know you're not a very active kind of sort of club in that respect these days, and you know, we all know that. But you were in the 70s. You were, and in the 80s, The Gooners, mate. We used to have massive tear-ups with Arsenal, you know? Massive tear-ups.
Well,
Even in '84...
Most of them, you know, grew up around sort of Andover Estate, you know, Front Hill Road guys, you know, people you know, all those guys, and then we had a wing at the Paddington around N1 as well. It's what the worst kept secret amongst our sides. You know,
but you know what? You used to be called Gunners, didn't you? Gunners, and I know this because my mum's a Gooner. Say that.
Hey, you know more about Arsenal.
She used to kick off and beat me up.
So you know more about Arsenal than most Arsenal fans, and I know more about Chelsea than most Chelsea fans, and that's because we spent 15 years working side by side on and off, innit?
Well, that's right. I mean, we literally it was every single day when it was mental.
It was relentless. It was relentless because we were wicked back then. Yeah, and then Abramovich took over, and I was sat in this geezer's car today, the breaking news on Talk Sport or whatever it was. Roman Abramovich, a Russian billionaire, buys Chelsea. Yeah, you were relentless, mate, I swear. But everything you said to me that day has come true. World domination.
Well, it was quite an exciting time, actually. Even more exciting. I remember Chelsea TV that night, and Ken Bates came on, you know, and he addressed the Chelsea supporters, and he goes, "Listen, let me tell you something now. You lot don't even know what's coming." And he was right, you know, and we've never looked back, you know. But I you know, it pisses me off as well because most of our supporters are 2005 onwards, you know, and they only remember the good times, and that's the reason why they get so fucking annoyed when we drop a few points, because they don't. I mean, if you actually look at the last 25 years, I know I don't want to keep going on about it, but we have won 25 trophies in 25 years. That's relentless. But we've also been either second or in a cup final runners up, finished in the finalists 18 times.
Yeah, but
so
Tone, that's
46 times. Yeah, that's unbelievable.
Yeah, but Tone, reason why is that I was recommending that we have a sort of Abramovich figure at Arsenal, because what I've seen with Abramovich figure is that his attitude is if I'm paying a lot of money, I want the best, and and I'm always going to upgrade. I'm always going to have standards. For instance, no one at Chelsea, player or manager, has a blank check. No one has a blank check. Look, Lukaku's, you know, is being bought for £98 million. He ain't got time at Chelsea. You bought him specifically to win the league this season and challenge Man City. He's had injuries. It's not working out. So as far as your fans are concerned, and people at Chelsea said, right, we'll get someone else, because that is what Chelsea did. You know, the genie's out of the bottle. You can't put the genie back in the bottle. Obviously, you say that some of our fans, you know, don't know what it's like. But guess what? We will kill to have fans like yours at our club, because what's happening, right, is that there are fans at the football club at Arsenal who have bought into the process. They've given Arteta a footballing blank check, which is unique for a big club that hasn't won the league for 18 years. It's unique.
Funny enough, though, we're becoming a little bit reborn as well, because what I have noticed, right, is we've got a massive youth element now, guys, that go at our away games. You know, like you had the hardcore traditional 3,000-4,000 that would go away, same faces all the time. They're being slowly replaced by youth now, and it's really rather interesting. You watch them now marching into town centres now, and you know, it's really quite, you know, you see them, and I look at them, I go, oh, look at them, you know, all in their 20s and that, and well, I think to myself, yeah, but when I was 20, I was doing exactly the same thing, you know, and it's really nice to see, you know. I've got to be honest, like, you know, so I know at Spurs, I don't know if you've seen on...
A lot of your younger fans, they are relentless because they've grown up on all that success.
Mental,
right?
mate. Mental.
But they do cuss off fans like you that have seen it all, right? But at the same time, Kenny's right. We'd love that at Arsenal, man, because most of our younger fans have...
I don't think I get that disrespect, though, Lee, from our lot. If I'm brutally honest with you, mate. Because they're really all right with me, you know. I've got to tell you, most... the older Chelsea lot as well, we are a bit more together than your lot. You're massively split, your fan base. But it's been like that for years.
But our split is because we had a manager overstay his welcome, mate.
Yeah.
And the majority of our fans on social media that support Arsenal, the majority, I'd say, and I'm guessing, obviously I haven't seen or everyone's age, of course. We've got millions of fans online. I'd imagine the majority of our fans online were either very, very young when we won that last title or haven't even seen it. Yeah. So then what they do is they go off the sentiment value because of what Wenger did for the club. Yeah. We're actually seeing now what Wenger did for the club. Now he's gone. People happy to cheer if we get fourth. Yeah, happy to. Oh, but you've got to give him time. No. Yeah, I say this all the time on my streams, right? The 3 most successful clubs in the last 16 years are Chelsea, Bayern Munich, and Real Madrid. Right? So that's 48. Between them, they've had 51 managers. If they had one manager a season each, that's 48.
Yes.
So they've had more than one manager a season. Yeah, 51 managers. And you're the 3 most successful clubs. I don't know how many trophies you've won between you in that time, but I'd imagine it's not far off of 60 or 70. Yeah, because Bayern Munich win the treble pretty much every year. Real Madrid win doubles and trebles. You lot have done doubles. You lot have won champion. You win something every year pretty much. Yeah, and so do Real Madrid, so do Bayern Munich. This longevity crap is the reason it's killing. It's the reason for killing Man United. Because Man United
you've got a problem. You've got a problem though, yeah, where you have to recognise, right, Kate, and going back to what Kenny was saying earlier, you've got. Let's be honest, right? Even though you spent a lot of money, it's the Premier League now, right? There's a lot of good teams, isn't there? Let's be honest. A lot of sides now where you could, like Villa, looking half decent, aren't they? Wolves are half decent. Leicester are half decent. Do you know what I'm trying to say? West Ham, out of nowhere, half decent. And then of course you're in that mix with Spurs and Spurs and Manchester United, us. And you've got City and Liverpool, whatever. And then you look at Everton, look at the demise of Everton. They've spent loads of money, and it's really not an easy league anymore, whereas if you went back 5-6 years ago, the way the money was distributed, the powerhouses at the top had it all their own way. Now, and of course, back in the day, and you recognise this, Kenny, you could go to Everton and say, right, I want your best player, and put a bit of pressure on, and they'd relent. Now these clubs are, no, why would we want to sell them to you? Do you know what I'm saying?
It's TV money. It's TV money.
It's got so much money, and this is what I remember saying years ago. Well, 2-3 years ago on a podcast, and getting slaughtered for it. Right, I was saying that the TV money should represent the TV appearances on the TV. So, for example, when you take out a subscription on Sky, let's have it right. Most people are going to watch Arsenal versus Man United or Chelsea versus Arsenal, as opposed to, I don't know, West Brom versus Brentford, So, in my opinion, that money, instead of going down like a pyramid, a lot of people say, well, that's really unfair. Well, if you look at life, life is about... It's about
pyramids. It's about pyramids and structure.
Exactly.
And let's be real. The only reason the money's flooded into the Premier League is because of Chelsea, Arsenal, Man United, and Liverpool. Yeah, let's be real with it.
There you go.
Because a lot of people won't know this, Tone, right? People say, "Oh, you're Abramovich. Abramovich has paid for everything, right?" You lot finished 3-4 points off of the title when Man United won it in '99. We finished second. Yeah, you finished third in the league that season, and between the three of us, it was a proper title race.
Yeah, we fucked it up about 3 or 4 games for the end at home to Leicester. And we were involved in that. We were in the Champions League in 1999. We got to the quarterfinals. Barcelona beat us in the second leg at their place. I mean, that was 1999 Champions League. So, and people, I hear it quite often, especially the geezer that's doing one inside right now. But I remember him coming out with stuff about. I remember Chelsea in the 80s. Or Robbie says the same thing. In the 80s, when I don't remember too many big crowds here. Listen, mate, let me tell you something now, We had massive history in the 50s from your man, Ted Drake. In the 60s, we were a representation for European football. First team to play under floodlights, 86,000. We had 10 years on the spin, the highest attendance in the league. People talk about us having no history. Get fucked. We won a European trophy before Liverpool even knew what one fucking was, right? So where we went wrong, and Kenny will tell you this, right, is our fucking chairman, how about this one? You wouldn't wish this on your worst fucking enemy. Our chairman sold our fucking stadium, and this estate agency called Marlow Estates bought us, QPR, Fulham, and they tried to kill us all. All three clubs and turn us.
That's because he was he died on the job.
Yeah, well, 15 years, mate, we were fighting for our football club. So when I hear the likes of DT going, "Oh, remember when?" Yeah, you probably do, mate. And probably the only thing to talk about our club at that time was kicking people's fucking heads in. when our supporters would go away from home, because we take 10,000, and people forget that. I mean, in 1984, we played Arsenal. We came up in 84 at Highbury, the old Highbury, 50,000. It was an early morning kickoff. Jess, you probably remember this.
I do.
And they did it because.
We do, yeah.
Well, please tell me, you're an Arsenal supporter. Chelsea had about 20,000 here that day, because I remember it. I was in the seats. You know the seats if you're looking from the clock end. And I mean, if anyone don't believe it, just tap in Kerry Dixon's equaliser at Highbury, 1984. It's like a fucking load of beads, mate.
Cult hero.
Beads, mate. Unbelievable, mate. 20,000 there that day. And we just flooded Highbury. It was, and so people don't even know what they're talking about, yeah? So,
mate, you had a better European pedigree than Arsenal.
I remember a fucking old load of you lot getting in the fucking North Bank. I remember that.
We were in the North Bank, actually. There was pockets of us in the North Bank that year. Yeah. And Denton was going mental, I remember. Well, I was in the seats. I had a green feeler. I was fucking casual then, boys. I had a green feeler track top on, giving it all that, right? We were on the right. We had all the seats and everything, like, but we just been promoted. We come up as champions. Right, yeah. But people don't. You know, we came up with Manchester City.
Yeah.
Well, Manchester City. Yeah. But people forget about Manchester City. Man City were always a big club. Main Road. They always had an average crowd of 33, 34,000. They were always a big club. Anyone that says they weren't, they're talking shit. And anyone that says that we weren't.
The Chelsea of the early fucking 70s, man. I mean, that was a top team. Yeah. With the players you had, Osgood.
Yeah, Charlie Cook, Osgood, David Webb. Yeah. Alan Hudson. Some people don't know what they're talking about. But, of course, they will bring up that period of time. Do you know why? Because they remember it. Because it's perspective. But then I could turn around and I say, well, that's great. But can you tell me, anyone, show me an Arsenal fan that see all those victories in the 1930s? I don't think too many are alive. You know what I'm saying? Well, and are we really talking about the same thing here when you won those trophies? No respect, all respect, because you've got to respect history and all its stages. But when you won those four titles or five titles? Three
titles, 2 FA Cups. Yeah.
2 FA Cups.
Big time for Arsenal back then, right? That was in between 2 world wars, part-time footballers, and you were the Bank of England club. Right, so you were the one with money. You were the Abramoviches of town. And then when also people start talking about our, dodgy fucking chairman, what about Sir fucking Henry Norris? When Sir Henry Norris bought Arsenal, who, by the way, was a West London tradesman. He owned Fulham. In fact, he was off at Stamford Bridge because that was the athletics club originally. You fuckers banned us and Tottenham from entering the league. And actually, you say we're the only club that were relegated. No, you bribed fucking not being relegated. The geezer got put away for embezzlement. Do you want to check your history out? So all this DT, I'd love to fucking do a one-on-one with you. Let's go.
No, you're going to have to wait a couple of years, mate.
Well, no, mate. I read about that,
Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about that better. Fuck him.
Well, that's right. That's right.
But no, you're right. Yeah, listen, people don't know their Arsenal history, or not many anyway. Most of the people in this chat love it. They love all these stories that Kenny and Jez, now you coming on.
And that invincible team.
One day we'll do that.
I'll join you. I'll join you with that one. Let's see. I think I could pick up a few points. Hey, do you know something? People forget.
I did a Chelsea quiz in your show. Remember?
4 years ago. We do that in international.
Yeah. You beat some Chelsea fans, didn't you?
I thrashed them.
No, but fucking unbelievable. But just before I end, and you're right, guys, because you guys are 3 guys that were in your youthful moments of life, right, where you saw all that incredible success. I was at the 1979 Cup final when Alan Sunderland, when you beat Man United. I was in Man United then. I'll tell you, they all cried, mate. Crying their fucking eyes out. My mother, right, used to work for it's a long story. My mother used to work for the BBC, and she actually married the Director General. When they went out on strikes, because it was something to do with him, he fell down the stairs. I used to fucking hate them. But the point is, she used to get me all these tickets, man. I've seen loads of cup finals. Watford Everton, went to that one. When West Ham beat Fulham in '75, Alan Taylor. And she used to get the programme. I've still got them. The programmes of all those finals, and the goal scorer would sign it. So
that's mad.
And my mum's a gooner. My mum's a gooner. Remember that? My mum's a gooner.
There you go.
So,
That's my scarf from
look at that.
Yeah, Jez's
that.
house is like a shrine, mate. It's like the Arsenal Museum. Like,
That was a
what was the scarf? What was the
beautiful
scarf
kit.
you pulled out the other day? With
3-2, that wasn't it? 3-2. That.
He was on the show with Gracie the other day, and you pulled out a scarf.
Oh yeah, I've got it here.
That was the Fairs Cup, wasn't it?
We're having a clear out. I found loads of stuff. Yeah.
The Fairs
Don't get
Cup
rid of that,
final.
though, Jess. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, look at that scarf.
Look at that,
how
look at
beautiful
that.
scarf is,
Yeah.
man.
That's from
Fantastic.
71 when I was at the when we
Cup
won
final.
the Cup league. That's
Charlie George.
the 69-70 Fairs Cup. Don't even see it very well.
Do you count that as a trophy, Jess?
Man, that's beautiful.
Do
Okay.
you count the Fairs Cup as one?
Yes.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I
think
did,
you should.
Well, look at you
I-
trying to dismiss
I-
cups,
I
mate.
went-
Look at you
I
trying to
went-
dismiss trophies.
Well, boy, we're closing in. We're 3 behind now. Well, if you get rid of the community shields,
If you get rid of community shields, you're above us, isn't you?
no, 3 behind.
Oh,
Right,
if we
right.
keep community
Well, it depends
shields,
whether you're going to
that
give
don't
us a
count.
Super Cup. I imagine you'll give us a Super Cup, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
Are you
You've got
going
to
to
give us
claim
Super
the
Cup,
World
isn't
Club
it?
Championships?
I'm going to
the
claim the
World
World Club, yeah. I'm going to claim the World Club, Kenny. Don't worry about
What
that.
about the Zenith Data Systems?
No,
Cup?
not
Is that
those.
in?
Not those. No, am I right in saying you've got 14 FA Cups? You've got 13 league titles. We're forgetting they're in the 30s, but, you know. So that's 27. You've got 3, am I right, or 2? I think you've got 2 league Cups.
2 League Cups.
Right, so that's 27, 29.
31.
I worked
2
it
in
out.
Europe. 2 in Europe. 31.
Well, the 2 in Europe's a bit. Come on.
No,
Come on.
The
Are we
Fairs
going
Cup,
2
the
in
Fairs
Europe?
Cup is a major trophy, and the
Right,
European Cup is a
all
major
right,
trophy.
Ken. All right, Ken.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, we'll give you that then, all right? So you're going to give us
the
a
Fairs Cup
World
is
Club?
basically the Europa League. Yeah, that's pretty much right. It's basically the Europa League, isn't it?
It's not. No, it's
Well,
not. The UEFA Cup is the Europa League. It's nothing. It's like the
Now,
Texaco
if
Cup,
it was
Ken. Come on,
rejigged, it'd be what, the Conference League?
Kenny, you remember the Texaco Cup, mate? It was like that. It was not a fucking
No,
European
no,
honour.
sorry,
but-
Jez. Sorry, I'm not sorry, not me, Jez. Sorry, Tone. The Fairs Cup is a major trophy. Leeds won it in 1971, and they won it. They won it in 1968. Sorry,
Oh,
can't give you that one.
Okay, so we'll give you that one then. So you're on 31, yeah?
31.
We're not
Shield.
counting community shields because we've lost fucking 9 in the last fucking 15 years.
Well, it ain't our fault. We've lost
Birmingham
9, is it?
City
How
were
many-
the first team to win.
What,
the-
community shield? What one? A trophy that you used to share back in the day? Come
Yeah,
on.
go on, Jez. What were you saying? Go on, Jez.
Birmingham City were the first team to win the Intercities Fairs Cup in
City
1962.
Fed Cup. What's
Yeah.
that about? Darling? Fucking
It's a
hell.
it's a
Fucking
European
hell.
trophy. Sorry, mate. European
All
trophy.
right, so
And we're
So we call
starving,
it
so we're
31.
taking it, Tone. We're taking it.
okay, that's fine. So that's 31 then, right? So we got 8 FA Cups. By the way, you beat us in 3 FA Cup finals, so you should have 11 and we should have 11. But we'll forget that. So we got 8, and we got 6 titles. That's 14.
That's level with Sunderland, right?
Yeah, it's level with Sunderland. Oh, you
Yeah.
can, yeah. So that's 14. But we got 8 European trophies.
8.
So
fucking
that's
hell, man.
8. So
It's
that's
unbelievable, isn't it?
that's
It's mad.
22.
Let me ask you a question.
and-
Sorry to cut you off.
and
Tone. Go on.
5
Go on.
League Cups. So that could be 6.
So that's 27.
27. So
You're 4
4
behind
behind.
us.
4 behind if you
But you are
include
in-
your
you are
Fairs
in.
Cup.
Does the Club World Cup count? We
It's got to,
let
isn't
them
it?
count that?
What, you're
Because
going to
we're
have
in
a
that as
Fairs
well.
and I can't have a World Club? Come. What's going on here?
Does
You've
that
got to win
count?
the Champions League to be in the Fairs Cup, the World Club.
Yeah, well, I'll give you that. Give you that.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, that is actually very true.
Oh, all right, thanks. All right,
Yeah,
so
that's
if we
true.
win that, then that's
If
3.
you win that, which
Carabao
you probably
Cup,
should,
2.
and then you win the Carabao Cup, you're literally 2 trophies
I
behind
got
overtaking.
see that here, right? That's all my notes, right? For where we're bigger than you, right? All my notes, mate, for a bid. I'm going to do. I've got you, mate. I've got you on Deloitte, Forbes, shirt sales, turnover, worldwide support.
Right?
And Robbie keeps going on about that. Worldwide support. Google it, Robbie.
You've
Yeah,
got to remember,
That's all I've got to say on that.
Emirates Cup,
We've won the Emirates Cup, Time. We've got to put that in there.
Oh, yeah. You're not. No fucking way. We're having Z. You've got about 9 of them. Can't have the Emirates Cup.
Come back when you've won the Emirates Cup, mate. Come back when you've won the
Emirates Cup. Well, yeah, you invite us then. Mate. But yeah, no, so yeah, it's not looking it now. I mean, you know what I mean? Listen, I'll take a draw if you want. Do you know what I mean? If you want a draw, we'll give it.
No, you're 4 behind, Tone. You're 4 behind.
You're 4 behind, exactly. Stop trying to finesse us. You're 4 behind.
Yeah, but that ain't the reason to be the biggest club, though, is it? I mean,
no, but
I'll rattle off some facts.
We are the third biggest club in the country behind Man United, Liverpool, or whatever order you want to put them.
No, you're not. You're not. You're not. No, you're not. No, on trophies.
Yeah,
trophies. We are
on trophy. We
were the third biggest club.
And size of club,
but that doesn't mean you're the biggest club.
No,
you're not. No, you're not.
We're third behind Man United and Chelsea.
Chelsea have got more fans globally.
No, you're not. I'll give you some facts now.
We're the biggest club in London.
I'll give you some facts.
Club in London, though.
No, you're not. No way. No fucking way, mate. I'll leave me out, mate. Do you want me to give you some facts?
No.
Do you want me to do it? Because I'll destroy you.
Come on, let's see. He's done his homework before coming on, yeah? So come on.
I have, mate. I'm making a video, mate. I'm hoping it's going to go viral.
Well, it's about
to be hashtagging Lee Gunner. Hashtag Lee Gunner. Hashtag Jess. Hashtag Kenny Ken. Let me all that one. Do you want to hear it or not? Shall I fuck it off?
Yeah, go on, yeah.
Go on, mate. The floor is yours.
Oh, mate, fucking hell. Oh, here we go.
Let's listen to this.
Okay.
Laugh, lads.
So let's go. Well, it's not a laugh, mate. It's a fact. It's a fact. It's the only thing you can say is trophies. 1930s ones, 100 years ago, but don't worry about it. In between two world wars, no one was fucking playing football full time, part time footballers, but hey ho, we'll count them. Anyway, let's get cracking. Deloitte, 16 years it's been going, boys. You'll be happy to know you've been in it for the entire 16 years. So have we. Manchester City haven't, by the way. Just saying. Okay, so our right now we're sixth Deloitte. Our average over that period of time of 16 years is 6.6. Arsenal are 7th. Your average over the 16 years, 7.3. First point. Second point, turnover. Right? 469.7 million, Chelsea. 388 million, Arsenal. Second point. Okay, Forbes, right? Arsenal currently under Forbes. This is the 2020-2021 Forbes. That's the valuation of your football club. 2.8 billion. Chelsea, 3.2 billion.
Let me stop you there. If he was to sell the club,
sales.
Hang on. Let me stop you there. How much is Abramovich owed when he sells it?
This is like a community shield technicality here. I can feel it. But you are right, and you are right. And a lot of our supporters, when they say "sack the ball," the
valuation of the club is less after Abramovich takes his cut, mate.
Well, so a lot of our supporters don't realise that away. That's right, and our football club is owned by a company called Ford Stam. That's Stamford backwards. And Abramovich, on the accounts, Abramovich is owed 1.3 billion. 1.3 billion, which is an interest-free loan that you can call in at any moment. So when all those Chelsea supporters go, get rid of him, sack the board, get rid of Roman, are you fucking mad? Are you fucking mad?
They should be loving life, mate. They should be loving life.
Of course. I'm sorry. Do you want me to carry? Really? I don't want to piss you off, boys.
Yeah, carry on, mate. Carry on. Go on.
Okay. Well, obviously, those are three massive points about who's bigger, yeah? Wouldn't you agree? Come on. Just saying. Okay.
Hang on. Let me just stop you again, right?
Club shirt sales.
That is sales talk right there. Wouldn't you agree? Yeah, and you're nodding your head. Wouldn't you agree? Yeah, you're trying to get people.
I'm using a bit of psychology, Lee. That's true.
ABC always be closing time.
BBC, absolutely. Okay, so shirt sales 1.52 million, Arsenal 1.1 million. Right, again 4-0. Right, 88 Sport. Okay. Hang on, here's another one. Statistica.
Go on.
Social media.
Go on.
Social media. Facebook. Chelsea 48.11. This is from Facebook, by the way. Arsenal 37.74 million. I believe a victory there, boys. Instagram. We're hiding you on Instagram. In fact, Twitter. You just shade it. We're 16.5. There's a little victory there for you, boys. million. You're 17.2. Not a lot in it, but you know. TikTok 1.8 million. Chelsea 899,000. Arsenal.
No,
Instagram
hang on.
19.1 million.
This is all well and good.
I'm proving a point that we're bigger than you.
No,
well, we are bigger than you.
No, Tone, stop.
Well, so you're saying that's all bollocks then?
No, this is all well and good. This is all well and good, mate. Yeah, but is yours gold?
Oh God!
No, it weren't. No, but who beat that gold team? Wayne Bridge. It's up for grabs. Up for grabs.
Don't stop. That's bad memory. That is when I think Chelsea's kind of I think Chelsea. I mean, you know, figuratively and probably factually became the biggest club in London when Wayne Bridge put the ball in.
Thank you.
That's what. I think what it did is that in footballing terms, not in historical terms, we're still bigger than you. But in footballing terms, I think that's where the balance of power went Chelsea's way after you finally beat us at Highbury, because we had a lot of domination over you. There's a fact you know how we Spurs couldn't beat us for 10 years, and you could from 95 up to 2005. You couldn't beat us as well in the league.
It's a joke. I used to hate playing you. Yeah. Anyway, look, I could go on. Shirt sales. So when I say shirt sales, I mean advertising.
You're going off of websites that are just like 888 Sport. Like, come on, Time. Where are you getting this?
No, they're not. They're direct source. I've got an 888 Sport thing here. If you want to hear it. These are all direct from source, mate. I ain't going to put a video out and look a mug. Right? Look, the point is, Nike against Adidas with 900 to 600 million, 40 million each on the club shirt sales, but then we've got everything, mate. We're bigger than you.
Done mad homework and still getting an F.
And then we're going worldwide support, and I've got.
You've got a bigger fan base globally. I'll accept that. You have.
Well, TalkSport put it at 135 million Chelsea, 117 million Arsenal. So Robbie Lyle, if you're watching this, right, put me on AFTV, and I'll go toe to toe with you. Don't fucking argue with Rory fucking what's his bollocks, right? You know, as much, and I like Rory, he's all right, but let's have it right. He's Chelsea supporter from the 1990s, and he turned around and said, "Get rid of Abramovich" about 6 months ago.
Well, he did cry when Lampard got sacked. I can't lie.
Well, yeah, but I mean, obviously he's in the know.
The Champions League.
Well, he's one of those. He's never going to say anything wrong, is he? Let's be honest. Right?
He's not in the know. He's not in the know.
No, he's in the know. What I'm trying to say is,
let me part of those. Hang on. Let me just reel you back in, yeah. So you're quoting TalkSport. You're quoting 888 Sport. You're quoting TikTok. This argument's not looking too good, mate. I can't lie.
Oh, come on. I've gone straight to Deloitte. I've gone straight to Forbes.
Okay, let's go straight to
every single. You go and Google it now. Go and Google any of it. I mean, I Google line.
Let's Google how many trophies Chelsea have won and how many Arsenal have won. We're bigger than you.
Well, you're ahead of that. But I would suggest that in the next 2-3 years.
Jez, what do you think? Do you think Chelsea are bigger than us, Jez?
Chelsea.
I've heard him say no, and he'll never accept it because he's from the 70s, and I get why he says it. Because you were always the biggest club in London. You were much bigger than us up until Abramovich bought us.
Arsenal are the biggest club in London. Fact. That's it. Sorry, Tony. Sorry, mate.
Fine.
But
it's
in another year or so, when you've overtaken us on trophies, we can't have any argument. Yeah, literally no argument. When you overtake us on trophies, we're done. Yeah, until then, you're not big enough.
Do videos saying that we are. I've heard you say it too, Ken. I've never heard Jess say it. Jess has always been arms folded. No. And that's fair enough.
Tone, what you heard.
Accept that and respect that.
Tone, sorry, cutting.
Robbie Lyle's flip-flops.
Can let me just say what I said. What we said is that we did a show when after you beat Man City, and it was one of the worst days in a lot of our lives. We were very angry at our board because we saw what you were doing and the urgency of having Arteta as manager and urgency. We thought, you know what, we can't argue with them. You know, if they win that title, they might as well be. But you know, we've reined ourselves in and we got the trophies. But the thing about it right now is that we're in danger in danger of losing that title, because the simple reason is that we can't ignore the fact that Chelsea, you know, have won the European Cup twice. When you won it the first time, we put that into experience and we understood. But when you won it a second time against a team that's better than you, it's a precarious position for Arsenal, because, all right, let's say, what's Chelsea got to do with Arsenal? Well, quite a lot, because what's happening right now is that there's a gap widening between Chelsea and Arsenal. Yes, in the league, we're not too far apart. But in terms of like the ambition and Chelsea's kind of capability to attract top managers, top players, and have the best boys in London, the gap is widening.
Mm.
And that's what hurts us the most is that we're not, there doesn't seem to be an urgency in us trying to rein it in. The only way we can see it is we do get a megalomaniac like Abramovich, you know,
And
someone
also,
who'll kill Bambi.
And also, if you look at the psychology, I mean, our support base, for example, Jess, you'd know this, our hatred, right, in the 70s, if you ask our old school, we had a rivalry with Leeds, yeah? Okay, and we never really had a hatred for Arsenal. Okay, I've not got that hatred for Arsenal. I don't mind Arsenal, to be fair, right? Okay, but
because you went me time. That's what it is. You know what I mean?
I don't have a problem with Arsenal. Yeah, not really. Yeah, right. But I'll tell you what it is, right? A lot of people take the piss out of our club by saying we don't have a direct rival, and that's because we're evolving, whereas you are sat there obsessed with fucking Tottenham, right?
Well, because they're
I get
geographical rivals.
They're not our rivals. No, I'm not having this talk. They're not our rivals.
He can't have that.
Oh, Lee, they are. Lee,
They're shit.
Geographically, they have to be our rivals.
They've been our rivals for like 120 years.
The reason why it's family. It's because of the family. Because
no, I get it. No, I do get it. I do get it. But for me,
you know,
like,
it's.
they
I hear what
win
you're saying, Lee.
anything.
But you know what's happened. People like me. The reason why, in Islington, you know, Islington, there were a few Spurs fans who infiltrated that area. Like, I was on a show where someone said, on a Spurs show last week, he said, "Oh yeah, mate, I'm from Medina Road," and I thought, "Fucking bastard, Medina Road's Fitzroy Park." And I think that's the rivalry starts. The rivalry starts is because of the fact of 1971, them winning the double first and us doing it afterwards. But it was something to do with them calling us, like, you know, dwellers, you know, South London boys. But most of the time, it's because of the proximity of the areas, you know, Seven Sisters Road. And Arsenal Spurs fans do have family ties and do have mates, because, you know, there's a few Arsenal fans who had pockets in, you know, in Enfield and Harringay, and in Islington, you know, on the Andover Estate, Murray Road, you know, where I was from.
They were there first, though, Ken.
What?
They were there first, though, Ken.
Undoubtedly, you can't deny that. But, you know,
because actually, you could argue that you became a London club in 1908. Because am I right in saying it was 3 years after our formation that you moved to Islington, because you were Woolwich was, I mean, back in the day we used to have such a thing. Well, you know this, boys.
All right, Stratford,
counties.
Stratford used to be in Essex.
Yes, and Woolwich used to be part of Kent, right?
Yeah.
And it wasn't part of London. It wasn't London.
Never Tottenham used to be Middlesex then.
I don't know. Tottenham.
But it did.
Well, I suppose maybe. Yeah, like Brentford used to be called a Middlesex club, didn't it? Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Mate,
Watford are calling out London
until the fucking sorting offices changed the postcodes, mate. It was fucking Middlesex.
Yeah, because they call it regions now, don't they? Not counties. You know, it's just a wonder that cricket still goes on, really, isn't it? When you think about it. But
well, Middlesex don't exist, does it, Tone? Middlesex don't exist.
Well, no, I suppose it don't. But I spent most of my life living in Middlesex. I don't know.
Well, Ealing.
Ealing, Acton, Hammersmith. Well, Hammersmith was obviously not, but Acton, Ealing, Norfolk, Paul Merson area.
We are going to wrap this up in a second. We've been going 2 hours, man. Who would have thought?
I like what you said, by the way, old Merce.
Oh, Merce is a ledge, bruv.
Well,
yeah,
Merce is one of your lot, isn't he?
Thing,
yeah, but just like Tammy Abraham's Arsenal.
Yeah, come out with six. Well, I like Mercy, it's Chelsea, you know what I mean? But obviously,
Yeah,
you're
we are going to wrap this up, people. Listen, there is still 1,000 people watching this. I've put
done,
Tony's channel link in the.
I
in the
don't.
chat.
Do you know?
So
Can I
make sure
just
you go
say the only
subscribe.
way? The only way
Go on,
I
mate.
think you could get back the glory times again, guys, yeah, at your club
It's sacked 95%
is do
of
what
the
you
fan
did
base.
where we copied you, you know, with the youth.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say.
Why
That's
don't
what
you
I'm trying to say.
buy high quality youth around the world? High quality youth. And then
Yeah,
kind of come in that way.
You develop. You still get the best boys in London as well. Just like the best boys in the Northwest are going to Man City to the Man United. So it's a mixture.
Because because all the inner city areas, we've built the cages, you know, where they play the football and the blue pitches and the not stupid, Chelsea. Did you see that thing with Rio Ferdinand when he was like
South
going
London
on
boys,
about South London? But did you see who was picking up all the talent?
Yeah, Chelsea,
wasn't it? You know,
mate, your women's manager, got voted the best.
She's
in the world.
ex-Arsenal.
Yeah,
she's a Spurs fan though.
Yeah, she is a Spurs fan. You're right.
I don't know that.
She's a Spurs fan, mate. Yeah,
she's got to go, mate.
Yeah, hey, this is mad. Yeah, not many people will know this. I'm sure Kenny and Jez, and you, Tone, probably do. Herbert Chapman played for Spurs.
Yeah,
not many people will know that. So we've got a statue outside our ground of a legend of our football club, but he actually is an ex-Spurs footballer.
Yeah,
it's
mad, isn't it?
Matt Busby played for Liverpool, isn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Crazy, yeah. Yeah,
mate, it's mad. But listen, we are going to wrap this up. Big up to everybody inside, and make sure. Listen, before you go, I'll stick Tone his link for his channel back in there. When are you going to upload again, Tone?
I put a video up actually a week ago. It didn't do very well because I've been off for fucking about a year.
Yeah,
and I just said hello. All right, I'm back. I'm going to say a few things that are going to upset a few people, which I am going to say actually. You know what I'm talking about. Do you know what I mean? I'll just fucking
do what you're doing, man. Do what you're doing.
You know, and I'm just going to say things as I see it, really. Do you know what I mean? I'm just going to be up. You know, obviously the Facebook group is, you know, still going strong. It's 116,000. It's fucking relentless.
They need to keep in contact that time. You know what I mean?
That's the thing. You need to start.
I don't know. I've never made a penny out of nothing. I've never made a penny out of nothing.
No. But the thing is, you can't let other channels steal the march, because what's happening? What we're doing here is that we're giving fans, who especially old school fans, a voice, and we're
bring
giving
me on a
fans
bit more, because you bring the Eunices on of life, don't you, Mr. Gunner? I see.
Hey, Eunice is sound, mate.
And the monster man.
You're a good guy, man. And
Eunice
great
loves
guys,
you,
mate.
well. Yeah, Eunice loves you.
I mean, Eunice. Yeah, I know, and I love Eunice. And listen, those first 6 months, 100% Chelsea, just me and him, was cool. It's good times, you know. I'm not gonna lie.
You need to upload more, mate. I've put your channel link in the
I need some help.
in the chat. So go and subscribe to Tony's channel.
Thank you.
Make sure you check out his channel. He will be uploading, because I'm going to keep bashing him to upload. It's in the chat right now on Facebook.
Well, I've got his number as well, so I'm going to nag him as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, let's do some live streams. You're going to come on to do some live streams.
International break. We'll do that quiz, Jez.
Yeah.
We'll get you on, Tone. You can come on and do an Arsenal quiz.
I don't upset you,
if all three of you beat me, I wouldn't be surprised, by the way, because you've all got years on me. Yeah, I'm just putting that out there now.
So I beat you on Arsenal, mate. You regularly lost a bit. Do you know what I mean?
Hey, I'll have to close the channel down.
Hey, Jess, is Jess all right with me? Is he ain't fucking pissed off at me or nothing, really? You all right with me, Jess? Yeah.
Oh, mate, you're a true legend, man.
Thanks, man. Thanks, man. You too, mate. You too.
I'll tell you what, though, mate. This quiz book ain't easy. It's some pretty tough shit in here.
You know what, Jess? You know what? I've been on Arsenal quizzes, and some of the questions they've asked, I thought, you know what? There's some hard ones in here. Hard ones.
Mate,
give us a couple. Go on, give us a couple, Jess.
Ain't that easy then?
Save it for the stream, Tone. Save it for the stream. Tone, we're hungry, mate.
For you. I'll throw
them give us the idea of how hard this is. Go on.
I'm bored, Ken. You know that. I'm bored.
What
am I going to do after this
stream? Profession before he became a professional footballer at Arsenal?
Say that again. You broke up, man.
What was George Mayall's profession before he became a professional footballer at Arsenal?
I don't know, fucking pig farmer.
You're not far away. You're not far away.
What was he? What was he?
A butcher.
Oh,
Wow.
Oh,
And what,
that's
he played
actually
for
funny.
Arsenal?
All right.
Yeah.
That's actually funny.
See, the thing is, the only player's profession that I know before they became fresh foot was Bob Wilson's.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
He was a great
What did he
goalkeeper, wasn't
do? That's mad. But listen, we are going to wrap this up. Listen, there's still 1,000 people watching this. Do please go and check out the Werripy Plus website. It is pinned to the comments section in the live chat.
No, that's brilliant, man.
Also in the description. Anyone who suffers from mental health, depression, and anxiety issues, do go and check
Great
that out.
course.
They do great work over there. Philip is a top guy, top psychotherapist as well. He's offering a 2-week free membership. After that, it's $14 a month, with $1 of that going to the Gunnar Claude Foundation. So please, please, please go and sign up to it. It's literally name, first name, surname, email address. That's it. You're in. Go and navigate the site. On the watch along tomorrow, I'm going to break it down and go through loads of bits. Obviously, it'll be a 3.5 hour stream tomorrow. So I'll break it down constantly, show you some of the courses that are available on there, and we'll go from there. But listen, we have got a game tomorrow. We're gonna slap Burnley, and on that bombshell, Tone, thanks for coming on, Jez.
Yeah,
and
big up,
Kenny as
Tone.
well.
Arteta out.
Always. Arteta out.
Tear in.
Arteta out.
Out.
Arteta in. Get out.